Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find the Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
Hey, the Monty Show, live on your YouTube machine. How the heck are you? As always, we're presented by The Advocates, theadvocates.com. Great conversation last night with a listener who's like, are the Advocates for real? Hell yes, they are for real. When you get hurt at work, your go-to is The Advocates. And listen, again, I know everybody tells me, well, my boss is going to take care of me. They said everything will be just fine. And if that's the case, The Advocates will tell you that as well. Hey, you don't need us. Your boss is doing a great job. Your company's doing a great job. Chances are that's not the case. Let The Advocates fight for you so you get what you deserve, because you didn't deserve to get hurt at work or be in that car accident. You didn't deserve to have that slip and fall because they didn't put salt on their icy sidewalks. No. You do deserve an advocate where you never pay the advocates out of pocket. In fact, you never pay them unless and until they win your case at theadvocates.com. Big show for you as always. It is Giving Tuesday on the Monty Show. We are giving away a $100 Amazon gift card today, coming up in 2.5 hours. All you have to do, sign up for your 30-day trial membership at trydaytrading.com. $10 charitable donation could get you a $100 Amazon gift card. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. And I'll just say our perfect track record at Tri-Day Trading. People who sign up for the free trial love it. Love it. They always continue. You have no obligation at Tri-Day Trading. So for a $10 charitable donation, we're going to give you a $100 Amazon gift card. Everybody who signs up, and if you're a member of the show and you sign up, you're in for 10 to 1 entry. So if you're not a member, now would probably be a good time to do it. So hook it up. Good to see you. Mike Smith says National Monty versus Mormon Monty. I don't know what you mean, Mike. I don't know what you mean. Obviously, he is referencing the news that we are starting a Utah-centric Salt Lake City sports talk show on the 5th of February, 9 to, really, it's going to be 11 noon-ish. You know, Monday through Friday right here on YouTube. But today, we bring you the very latest on Jim Harbaugh, and it seems like this story is an every single day story with Jimmy. Jim Harbaugh, as you know, is interviewing for the Los Angeles Chargers job. Did so yesterday. The Chargers continue their process. He continues his. And as we also reported on the show, we didn't expect anything to happen quickly. And maybe now we know why. Jim Harbaugh in Michigan continued to negotiate a contract extension for Harbaugh that would make him the highest paid coach in college football, with one caveat. Jim Harbaugh is demanding that the University of Michigan give him, quote unquote, immunity from punishment from the NCAA for sanctions that are assuredly coming, as the NCAA has already let everybody know that punishment's happening. The University of Michigan has been notified of level 1 and level 2 violations on the part of Jim Harbaugh and the football program. There is an ongoing sign-stealing investigation going on of the Michigan football program. There is an ongoing investigation involving the FBI and the Michigan football program. Penalties are coming. And if you believe what the NCAA and pretty much what everybody else is saying, Jim Harbaugh is looking at between an 8 and 12 game suspension for this coming season on charges he has admitted to. That's the part of this that I think a lot of Michigan fans don't want to talk about. Jim Harbaugh took a 3-game rip to start this past season as atonement for his COVID-era recruiting violations. But, Jake, does that mean that the University of Michigan should include immunity in their contract extension for Jim Harbaugh?
Well, I'm not even sure that Michigan can truly provide him immunity. I'm not sure that that's even something that Michigan can offer Jim. And I think it's a difficult spot for Michigan to be in, because obviously this guy just won you a national championship and, is really successful for you all of a sudden. And now, he's put you in a position where you kind of have to choose, hey, do we want to move on from this guy that's been successful for us and won a national championship? Or do we want to continue to try to find the middle between what he wants and what we want? And is finding that middle still healthy for our institution considering the NCAA penalties. So it's a difficult situation. Should they provide him immunity? I mean, I really think that depends who you ask. I mean, I don't know who you're going to go out and get, to fill the job. Obviously, it's a good job. Obviously, there'd be a lot of people or candidates who'd be interested in the job. So, it's not like you would have a tough time filling it. But I just think if you're the guy that says, hey, we're not going to give Jim what he wants, and because of that, he's going to the NFL with the Chargers, let's say, and then you don't do a great job of backfilling that, that's probably not going to be a great look for you. So I think it's a difficult position for Michigan to be in, but I do think it's pretty rich that Jim is asking for this. I think it's, it takes a lot of cojones, if you will, to ask for immunity after you did all this. And so my only question for Michigan fan is, how can you sit there and be like, yeah, this guy didn't do that? Because I know an innocent guy would ask for this, right? A guy who had nothing to do with any type of violations in the offseason and during the season would never ask for immunity from NCAA discipline. So that's why I say, if you're a Michigan fan, and really if you're a Jim Harbaugh supporter, I understand that you like the guy. I just think he's putting Michigan in an impossible situation. He's not out for Michigan, the school. He's out for Jim Harbaugh, the head coach. And that's just as simple as it is for both sides.
Yeah, I don't know how this ends positively for Michigan, because what this means, and I know everybody's been up in arms about the word immunity for the last 12 hours since these reports came out, but I think what immunity means is he wants to make sure he's going to get paid no matter what. He wants to make sure that he will not get terminated no matter what. Like Jim Harbaugh wants a fully guaranteed no-cut contract from the University of Michigan, and he wants to be insulated from his actions. And I think that is a very precarious perch for the University of Michigan to operate on, because I think we've heard, and sources have told us, that the staff at Michigan is growing ever irritable with Jim Harbaugh in the football department. And then you lop on top of that Juwan Howard and Michigan basketball and the issues he's had. I think there is some frustration inside the walls at Michigan with the athletic department. And now Jim Harbaugh wants to be held blameless for what are very clear, serious NCAA violations. And I think there are people inside that academia at Michigan who don't want anything to do with that. And I got to tell you, I agree with that. I wonder how the NCAA would view this as well, because a guy I talk to regularly about college football made a very good point. If Michigan holds Jim Harbaugh harmless, does the NCAA double down on its penalties to Michigan? And man, I think that makes a lot of sense. I think if you are the NCAA and you have a situation where the University of Michigan has essentially told Jim Harbaugh, oh, you've done nothing wrong here, sir. We're not going to penalize you. We're going to pay you. And in our eyes, you're not going to be suspended. You've done nothing wrong. Oh, man, I think the NCAA will take more scholarships. Will limit more recruiting visits. I think if you are Michigan, you're avoiding major penalties if Jim Harbaugh takes a Charger job. If that job, as we are reporting, has been offered to, and he has not yet taken it, if Harbaugh takes the Charger job, I believe that Michigan is going to avoid significantly heavier penalties without Jim Harbaugh as their head coach. And I think they would be wise to hire Sharon Moore. I think it's the only way you keep any recruits that you have, because as we've talked about, you go look at the NFL draft entries in the portal at Michigan, it is an avalanche of Jim Harbaugh guys that are in the portal and are headed to the NFL draft. Things are changing in Ann Arbor. If you're Michigan, I think you are asking for significant trouble if you give this guy a no-cut guaranteed contract.
Absolutely. And I think that point about Sharon Moore is a good one. I wonder how, the NCAA would view Sharon Moore. Is it a thing where if it's like, hey, if Harbaugh's gone, then his staff isn't going to, wear the punishment? I'm just asking if that's, if we think that's how, the NCAA would view that, or is it a thing where the NCAA is like, no, you were his assistant head coach. Like, you were well aware, we're still levying the discipline against the program. I don't know how they look at it, but I just think from Michigan's point of view, if I'm out here looking at the landscape, like, okay, option A is keep Jim on a no-cut contract. Option B would let Jim go to the NFL, and then to your point, hire Sherrone Moore as the head coach and keep most of the staff and hopefully keep most of our recruits.
And I also think Minter would go with Jim Harbaugh to Los Angeles as his defensive coordinator. So I think Sherrone Moore would have a chance to augment that staff with some of his guys. But Sherrone Moore's a no-brainer. I mean, he is a no-brainer. He's a guy that led this squad. He's a guy that's well-respected in the locker room. Like, I don't know that you could have a better choice than Sherrone Moore.
No, I think the only question in terms of Sherrone Moore for Michigan is just how it affects the penalty. I mean, again, if Jim leaves and then let's say everybody leaves with him and it's just kind of a clean house, restart the computer type thing with the program.
Yeah.
Then I think your discipline's pretty light. I think the NCAA is not going to be like, oh, yeah, well, hey, the chancellor knew about sign stealer guy, or the chancellor knew what Jim was doing in the dark period.
Sign stealer guy.
Right? Like, I don't think the NCAA is going to be like, yeah, hey, everybody's gone. We're still going to do, like, you may get a light penalty at that point. But that's why I say that's what's tough about, the Sherrone Moore situation is that, yeah, he's totally capable and he's a great fit for the position, probably the best fit for the position. But how does that impact, you moving forward? And by the way, if the NCAA said, hey, okay, if Jim leaves and Minter leaves and Sherrone Moore is your new head coach and he retains, let's say, half of that current staff and then replaces, the other half, then we'll give you X for discipline, and that discipline will pan out over a year.
I think that's a great point.
Is Michigan okay with that? That's what I'm saying. You're looking at option A, option B, option, 2.0B, and then C is just restart the entire program.
And again, I think the biggest question is, how does this penalty go up or down based on Jim Harbaugh or not Jim Harbaugh? Because honestly, I think that is realistic. I think there is absolute disrespect being felt, like the Committee on Infractions. And if you don't know the story, sourcing and really the punishment and the statement by the Committee on Infractions confirms Jim Harbaugh in no way, shape, or form committed to the investigation, cooperated with it, and then when he did sit for questioning, they felt like he was being dishonest and evasive, which is the level 1 violation that he is charged with. And again, everybody was saying, well, he's already been punished. He hasn't been punished for that. They just got the notice of allegations on that. Remember, it was essentially described as a plea deal with Jim Harbaugh and the Committee on Infractions. And we were told this past summer that they were taking nothing less than a 6-game suspension at the Committee on Infractions. And they pled it down to 4 games. The Committee on Infractions laughed at that and said, we'll handle this next summer. And then Jim Harbaugh agreed to suspend himself for 3 games to mitigate the punishment. So he's admitted to those level 1 and level 2 violations during the COVID dark period. So that's just one that he's admitted to. And I go back to sign stealer guy, who Connor Stallions is back on Instagram.
Sign stealer guy.
Yeah, well, not hard to find either.
Everything's passed over. I wonder if he's going to be on the Chargers.
Not hard to find either. Not hard to find on Instagram.
I want the best people.
Would you be surprised if
nope.
If Jimmy?
He's quote unquote an analyst.
Yeah, we'll see. But you remember that during the sign stealer guy stuff, Michigan, when it was notified of the penalty against Jim Harbaugh from the Big Ten, Michigan said, this is unfair. We're going to court. Michigan fans said, this is unfair. Go to court.
Do you know what that's like these days?
The NCAA has to rule. And then remember what happened on the show. Our unbelievable sources told us, we had it first, and it was confirmed by everybody, including Pete Thamel, that the NCAA, the Big Ten, and Michigan had all been talking. And the NCAA has all the evidence, and they were providing the Big Ten with evidence, who was then providing it to Michigan. And even still, you went to court, filed for a temporary restraining order with a judge who, again, played football at Michigan, is a Michigan law alum, and now is on the bench in Michigan. You were going to court. You were going to fight this suspension. This injustice will not stand. It will not stand.
Stay hard.
until it did when you withdrew the temporary restraining order 2 hours before the hearing.
Oh.
Well, hey, Monty, why do you think they did that? Well, listen, as the guy that, what did Big Daddy Magic say today? The big guy with the big gun?
Big Daddy Magic, the heavyset one with the big gun, with the sweet tongue.
What did the heavyset one with the big guns tell you? I don't know why I went there. But the point is, the NCAA dropped a ton of new evidence on the Big Ten, who gave it to Michigan, who promptly withdrew their notice for a temporary restraining order. They're admitting that, and again, on the record, here we are, what is it, January 16th, fully 3 months after the allegations became public. Michigan has never, not one time, denied the allegations of sign stealing. Fired Connor Stallions for it. Fired staff for it. Have never denied it.
Never.
So if we know all of that, and then there's the Matt Weiss FBI investigation
that nobody knows anything about, in my opinion.
I again ask, and Michigan fans seems to always find their way into the comments. And listen, I don't check the parole logs in Detroit, but apparently all the Michigan fans get out right along.
You know,
right.
Because
they're all corrections officers and public servants.
Right.
You know. I would like to apologize to absolutely no one. But Michigan, the degenerate Michigan fan always tends to find their way into the comment section like, bro, look, you're the rotund one with the big guns. That doesn't mean you have sources. Dude, you might have a sweet tongue, but you don't have sources. Yeah.
Big Daddy Magic, the heavyset one with the big gun, with the sweet tongue.
You know what I'm saying? And Michigan fan always comes in here and they're like, yeah, trust me, bro. Hey, man, who are your sources? Trust me, bro. That's
Big
who
Daddy Magic
is my source. And it's just hysterical to me that you can't have you can't have an honest conversation about Jim Harbaugh with Michigan fan. And the question I would like to answered. Why are you fighting for this guy so much? He's not going. My guess, based on the people I speak to, he's getting at least an 8-game rip for this, and they'll give him relief because he served 3 games at the beginning of last year. I think he gets 8 games minimum to start this season, and that's minimum. He will lose scholarships. He will lose recruiting visits on campus. He will lose recruiting visits off campus. He will lose the ability to have kids at football games. He will, and again, probably the biggest thing is he will lose scholarships. He will probably face at least half a dozen scholarship reduction. And I'm saying that it's probably going to be a minimum of 3 years of probation, and each year you lose 2 scholarships. And that's if we're being kind.
This is the list for 2 level 2 violations at Florida State. Just want to point this out.
Why do this?
Right? I just want to point this out. 2 years.
I would like to apologize on behalf of Two Holes for him bringing this up, because Twitter, honest to God, I do believe the fire department was called because Twitter was on fire when I referenced Michigan fans sweating over the Florida State violations.
2 years of probation, a 2-year show cause order, a restriction from off-campus recruiting during fall 2023.
So that's 1 year.
A 3-year disassociation from the booster, a 1-year disassociation from the collective, a $5,000 fine plus 1% of the football budget, a 5% reduction in football scholarships over the 2-year probation period, a reduction in official paid visits in the football program in the 23-24 academic year. Like a reduction in recruiting communications.
I was also told the other thing that they can reduce is staff, like G8 grad assistants. And this is for a booster collective NIL violation. The FBI wasn't involved in that one. right?
During the meeting, the booster encouraged the prospect to enroll at Florida State and offered him an NIL opportunity with the collective worth approximately $15,000 a month during his first year at school. This is what I mean, man. I'm just saying,
wait. And don't forget the show cause they strapped on the coach.
Yeah,
who's
dude.
still employed. He took, what, a 2-game suspension or a 3-game suspension, and they dropped a show cause on him. And he still works there. Still works there.
Including a suspension from the next 3 regular season games, a 2-week restriction on recruiting communication, and required attendance at an NCAA regional rules seminar.
Good luck. And that so
just saying.
I think that Michigan is in real trouble no matter what. But if I am Michigan, I'm not fighting for this cat. I am not fighting for this cat. I am not. I will not. If you are a Michigan man, you deserve better than this. And I continue to say that. All the faux Michigan fans who are just now coming on, oh, go blue. Look at my natty t-shirt, bro.
Hey, check yourself.
That's cool. And because there's a lot of that, I think. There is a lot of that. So what do you guys think? What do you think will happen here on Giving Tuesday on the Monty Show? Let's get that going. Sign up, trydaytrading.com/Monty. Sign up for their 30-day trial membership. No obligation at the end of it. You pay $10, which is a charitable donation. They're going to give that to their charity of choice for January. You'll get their entire coaching package. So you get high-level coaching, access to their proprietary software, and you are day trading immediately in simulators. And they're teaching you how to do it. Hey, here's how you use the indicators. You get the entire program for 30 days. Everybody who joins between now and 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern, you'll be entered to win a $100 Amazon gift card today, because we're going to give it away at 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern. And all you have to do is take a screenshot you signed up, tag Jake on Twitter or Instagram, SLC Jake. You sign up for Tri-Day Trading. We'll put you in the pool. If you're a member of the show, you will get 10-to-1 entries, such as in like Charlie Sinclair, who became a member of the members only contest.
Let's go, baby.
And if you are a members only member, you get 25-to-1 entries in every contest.
Let's go.
So hook it up. Yahoo reporting Harbaugh is still in LA today. That may be true. But I can tell you that my guess is you will not hear anything. I think Thursday is if you don't hear something by close of business Thursday, I don't think he's the Chargers head coach.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. You don't hire Don Yee. Don Yee is Jim Harbaugh's NFL agent.
Yeah.
Him and a guy named Jimmy Sexton are the two most powerful coaching agents in all of football. You do not hire Don Yee if you're not going to take an NFL job, because Don does not work for free. And my guess is that Jim is, and I will say the same thing that I've been told repeatedly. I was told it again yesterday. It's simply a formatics episode at this point. Jim Harbaugh had an interview yesterday with the Chargers that lasted 9 hours. They did not talk football. They talked about Justin Herbert, and they talked about structure. I was able to confirm one of the things that Jim Harbaugh wants is complete control of the offensive roster. He wants control, which essentially means final say on every offensive player. He values quarterbacks, offensive line, and skill positions, as every offensive guru does. And I think that's critically important. I think Jim wants control of his staff because he wants to bring Minter with him from Michigan. And I think he would like input on the general manager. I don't think that he wants to be the general manager. I think he wants input on who that GM is going to be. And I, again, will say I think it's incredibly awkward you're hiring a head coach before your GM.
Mm-hmm.
Because at least give it the visual aid that Jim Harbaugh doesn't run the whole damn thing. Because if you hire the dad bod god before your GM, Khaki Boy is going to run the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the players are going to say. And that's exactly what happened in San Francisco. And again, I simply point out that ended in a disaster. And a certain person on this show yesterday, who's not me, and I don't know who else that would be, a certain person on this show yesterday tried to make the argument that Jim Harbaugh was not successful in the NFL.
I know. He went to 1 Super Bowl, 2 NFC championships.
Three NFC championships.
Okay, 3 NFC championships. Great. He's the pinnacle of success. What'd that get you?
Not a Super Bowl title. And Jim did not. And again, the reason that I think Jim is dangerous, and what I say about Jim Harbaugh every time we talk about him, it's not what he does while he's there, because he's going to grind his face off and his players, and they're going to hate him by year 3. But they'll play hard for him. And when he leaves, he will just throw a lighter over the shoulder like he's at Tyreek Hill's house. Okay. And that was at least a
I know, reset.
There's not even a laugh.
Nope.
Not a giggle.
Nope.
Anyway, he's going to burn that thing to the ground before he leaves. And he has done that. You look at what he's doing at Michigan. At least he won a natty there. But he's going to leave that thing in shambles. You look what he did in San Francisco, left that thing in shambles. That's who he is. And you just understand it. Just understand it.
So when I'm talking about what's success, my opinion is, it's not a fact. My opinion is success is not, hey, we did everything except the only thing we're playing for, and then we left the franchise, and it's really not quite ever been the same since Kyle Shanahan showed up. And then Kyle Shanahan turned it around, and now we're here today. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I saw all your comments. I don't know what I'm talking about. I lose all credibility. I'm terrible. This show sucks. Like, I saw it all. And that's fine. You guys can say
this
all
show
that.
sucks.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can say all that, but the reality is there's no getting away from it. The only thing that makes his BS worth it is a Super Bowl.
Listen, I think Jim Harbaugh's a hell of a head coach. I think Jimmy is a guy. He's just he's that guy that's constantly in conflict with himself. That's what it is.
Let me ask you this, Charger fan. What happens if they hire Jim Harbaugh and everything's amazing, right? He gets everything he wants. He's super happy. Everything's kosher. And then 3 years down the road, you are not able to win the AFC, and Herbert leaves your organization along with Harbaugh. Then what will we say? Okay, that's the negative side. The positive side would be you sign him. Everything's great. You go win a Super Bowl. He's the hero you definitely don't deserve, but the one you got. Everything's great.
Yeah.
So how much of a gamble you want to take on, dude? I understand it from Charger fans' perspective. What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? You're talking about the Spanos family, bro.
You know what you have to lose? Justin Herbert.
Wow.
And I think it is very difficult to find a quarterback the caliber of Justin Herbert.
Mm-hmm.
And I lovingly call Justin Hey Bear, the sex machine, because he's everything you want in Los Angeles. Big, tall, strapping abs, blonde hair, and he's got a turbocharger for an arm. Like, the guy just is everything you want. And if you look at what happened in San Francisco, he alienated Alex Smith so that he could insert Colin Kaepernick, which I think was probably the right move. It just was handled poorly. And Colin, I think, just wasn't ready at the time. If Alex Smith is your quarterback, the 49ers win the Super Bowl, because he's making that throw to Crab on the goal line.
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't. And Jim Harbaugh had no oversight there. That was his decision and his alone. And he's asking for that exact same privilege in Los Angeles. So let's see what happens. Let's get your comments in here on the Monty Show. Hero 75, can the NCAA put a multi-year death penalty on a coach? They don't do death penalties per se, but I mean, the essentially what they would do if Jim Harbaugh stayed at Michigan, I think, again, I've heard that he would get an 8-game suspension is likely. He would have a 5-year show cause. So when he leaves Michigan, the clock would start ticking on that. You would also have a situation where you would have significant scholarship reductions. over multiple seasons. You would have, again, recruiting write-downs, visits on campus limited, coaching staff limitations, off-season program limitations, everything they can do to restrict your ability to grow and develop your talent and win games. And that's why I just ask, why is Michigan fighting so hard for this? And not even just to bring the guy back. You want to make him the highest paid coach in the history of the Big Ten and currently in college football. You want to pay Jim Harbaugh more than you are paying Kirby Smart.
But is that the prerequisite to even start a conversation with Jim based on the penalty they're getting?
Oh, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. I would not be surprised by that at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I would not. Sean Rollins, who told an odd story in the members only group today. Sean Rollins came out to his vehicle this morning to go to work, and there was lipstick smeared all over the window.
Sean, what have you been doing, sir?
What's her name, Sean? Just come clean now. Come clean now, man. What's her name?
Big Daddy Magic.
Right? Come clean now. You might as well just Sean, just own it. We all make mistakes, right? I mean, listen, you broke her heart. What did you think she was just going to walk away? I have no idea if Sean is married and has kids. I hope, and if
This is your beloved.
I'm just saying. Let's get the comment section going with Blue Raz. Your demands are my wishes right here on the Monty Show. Blue Raz it is. Buckshot. BuckedUp.com, the official energy provider of the Monty Show. Well, that was on your lips, wasn't
I was
it?
ready, dude.
You were teasing people.
Yeah.
If you're ready, I'm ready. Cheers, my friends. Oh, yeah. I love it. It's smooth. It tastes good. It goes down easy. I love Blue Raz. I'm a watermelon fan as well, but I'm on a Blue Raz run right now. Not only do I have 2 cases in my fridge, I have another case in my car.
That's right, T.
It's the stuff of legends. And what, if you don't know Buckshot, here's what it is. It is essentially a headache cure. It is a focus cure. It is one of those things that amounts to a bunch of brain food with naturally sourced caffeine. And I hear this all the time. There's no difference in caffeine, bro. There is. Green tea leaf extract. That's what's in here. And I also hear a lot, well, Monty, how do you know what's in those things? You can't read the label. It's too damn small. Sure I can. You want to read the label? Let's read the label, bro. I'm here for it. Right? There it is right there. You get 1 shot, 2 ounces. And look at that. Natural caffeine from green tea leaf extract. But you also get tryptophan. You also get alpha GPC, which is all brain food. That's all this is. Vitamin B12. If you're not taking B12 every day, you're not living life right. Magnesium. Every man needs magnesium. Riboflavin. It's all brain food, my friends. And if you look at that, it's a powerful package. And what this does is it gives you a mental lift. Note what I didn't say. Sugar. Note what I didn't say. 8,000 milligrams of caffeine. There's no spike, right? There's no chemicals. There's no fake stuff. It's great ingredients, elite ingredients that make an elite product. Does exactly what it says it's going to do. You got that meeting. You got a long drive home. Maybe the weather's bad. Maybe your side piece smeared lipstick all over your windows and you need some patience. Pound of Buckshot, Blue Raz, according to the expert, right? So I don't know if that happened or not. The point is, hit the Buckshot, get 6 of them free right now in the description, right here on our YouTube channel, The Monty Show. If you're watching live on Twitter, hello to you. Get into our YouTube channel and get the 6 free Buckshots from BuckedUp. If you're listening on Spotify, what's up with you? Appreciate you listening to the show. Get to our YouTube channel, The Monty Show. Hit subscribe, hit the bell, and then get your free Buckshots from BuckedUp.com, the official energy provider of the Monty program. Maury Alvarez, Buckshot is Monty's performance-enhancing drug. Oh, that's not even in question. That is not even in question, dude. Absolutely it is. No doubt about it.
I've never taken steroids.
Ever.
Lidocaine and B12.
Is what I'm saying. Sean Rollins has a sense of humor, thankfully. Adam Monks, what's up, my guy? What's going on in the Jeezy? Adam Monks from St. George. Yum. Let's go.
Yummy,
Exactly
yummy.
that. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Keaton Critchlow. Jake sifted through all that.
Yeah,
Yes, he
I did, bro. I did.
I sifted through all
I
that.
read all of them. There was probably 40 of them. I read them all. I see you guys hating. I
Damn
got
right.
you.
Damn right. Doc Rob says pounding something. Hey now.
I wasn't going to say anything about that, but
Hey, now.
I think I've hit it every
I
time.
think I've hit it every time. OG Gary, if you can't spell his name, then you lose credibility.
excuse me,
Gobert.
you lose all credibility, not just credibility.
I think Tanner Plummer put that video in the group or something. I misspelled Rudy Gobert one time. And fans were like, you can't even spell his name, bro. You lose all credibility. How's he looking in that Jazz uniform? Oh, that's right. He got traded just like we said.
And he's still on the Dennis Lindsey deal.
Steve Stepanek, since Notre Dame is an independent football and all other sports are in the ACC, can the Big 12 get other basketball teams from the Big 10 and the SEC to join the Big 12?
Notre Dame, our mother.
I don't know that any are related, but I would not be looking for, no, a lot of that. Boston Mapes, how were the four coaches in San Francisco prior to Jim and the two before Kyle Shanahan? But his last year was a trash fire and may have contributed to Willis retiring early. Oh, there's no doubt. You look, Jim Tomsulo took over for Jim Harbaugh, and it was a disaster. That locker room, Jim Harbaugh's last 18 months as coach in San Francisco, I was there. I can tell you firsthand, that team did not enjoy reporting for work every day. And you look at the talent that they had on that team, the personalities. That Alex Smith decision was not talked about with captains. It was not communicated correctly. It just was not well handled. Not well handled at all. And I think it was a real problem. OG Gary, yes, you do lose credibility because you can't spell his name correctly. Okay, that's fine. Ferris Khan, 3 NFC championship games and a Super Bowl is huge accomplishment. Okay, first of all, was Jim Harbaugh a successful head coach in San Francisco?
Yeah, by NFL standards, he's successful. Sure.
And again, I want to make this clear, and I don't mean to keep telling you who I am. I covered him in San Francisco at the great KGO KMBR 680, the sports leader. He won games. He was hated in that locker room. I say that he was not successful because he alienated players. And that was a good group of players. Like when you look at the linebackers they have, when you look at the offensive line there, you look at Alex Smith there and the respect that he had, you had a group of dudes that should have won the Super Bowl. But because of their coach, and this is the thing that I always try to point out to Michigan Homer, and I believe Ferris Khan is, he had a far better team than New Orleans. Not close. They were a better team than New Orleans. And they were a better team that I'm trying to think of if I go back, like Baltimore, who they played in the Super Bowl. They were a better team than the Baltimore Ravens. They were better. And yet they didn't win that game because he made bad decisions with personnel. He alienated leadership, and those guys were not excited to show up at 6 a.m. And one of the routine things you hear is that the meetings were short. Practices were unenjoyable. You had a lot of guys that were not engaged in practice. And I think ultimately, if you look at Jim's resume, sure, you go to NFC championship games, you go to the Super Bowl, win or lose, I think you're successful. But you look at what's going on with Nick Sirianni in Philadelphia. It's the exact same thing. And why is it the exact same thing? He's a weird dude. So is Jim Harbaugh. He alienates certain players. So does Jim Harbaugh. So what happened? Jim Harbaugh, the thing melts down because he doesn't get along with his GM. He doesn't get along with ownership. It's my way or the highway. And you hadn't won anything. The situations are remarkably similar. And my question is, if you bring Jim Harbaugh to the Chargers, has he changed? Because based on what we saw at Michigan, he still treats players the same way. And you can, I say this all the time as well, you can get a bunch of college players to bow down at your altar. NFL guys don't do altars when they make far more money than you, and they can go to the owner and get you fired. And the Spanoses are notorious for being players' owners. So if Jim Harbaugh goes in there and he wants to run his meetings with a jackhammer instead of a feather, because you look at the teams that treat their guys well, they win. There are very few exceptions. Bill Belichick is one of the exceptions. Bill Belichick's never going to put his arms around you and say, "It's okay, buddy. Next season we'll make that throw."
Yeah, we're not making any changes.
He's the exception. But why was he an exception? Because he had a GOAT at quarterback and leadership was unquestioned. That's the situation with Jim Harbaugh. Do you have leaders in Los Angeles that can carry that locker room? And I'm telling you, I don't think you do.
So that's why I struggle. That's why I struggle. Yes. By win-loss record, he's very successful. By, NFC championships and accolades in NFL terms, yes, he's very successful. Yes, and this is what I would say. This is my opinion. Michigan fan, do you feel better? Yes, your Jesus Christ is successful.
You got cool T-shirts and hats.
He's successful. Awesome. Feel better. But 3 years from now, if he flames, to your point, right? Because I think it's a great point about the Spanos family, totally have a reputation. If he flames, is that really success?
Was the national championship that you earned, because you earned it on the field, was that worth what's about to fall on top of you in Ann Arbor? That's going to be the question. And the real litmus test will be how many of you cowards won't show up to the big house to watch football games on a team that has no chance of winning. Because I believe that's what's coming. They're going to limit you. They're going to limit you. There's just no way about it. They're going to limit you. Steve, I don't know what your
Stay hard
over this is. I just asked the Big 12 conference in an email if they could legally get teams from the SEC and the Big 10.
Great.
Why would you email the Big 12? And why would you email them that question? Hey man, listen, bro. Hey, Brett, I'm just curious. Do you think they're going to give you inside information? Yeah. Hey, well, it's funny, Steve, from the Monty program. It's funny you asked, dude. We've been talking to Michigan about coming over to the Big 12, and Alabama's coming too. Do you really? Hey, why do you care? Why is this even a relevant thing? I don't get it.
I don't really understand what you're saying.
I don't get it. I don't. Big blue horses. He left when things began to slide, burned every bridge he had, and the league could caught into his outdated scheme. That's the question that I think everybody has about Jim Harbaugh. The way he won at Michigan, you cannot win that way in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot. And again, I'll go back to Nick Sirianni in Philadelphia. Terrible coaching, terrible offensive schematics, terrible play calling. Mrs. Monty and I were sitting on the couch watching the game last night, and we're sitting there watching Tampa just come for Jalen Hurts. No change in schematics, no change in play calling, continuing to run into zero blitzes, which I don't understand, continuing to throw Hail Marys when it's remarkable how bad the play calling and schematics in Philadelphia were the last 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And it came to a head last night because Tampa was not surprised by anything they did. And really, you didn't need to be surprised because you were not fooled. There was no scheme or disguise. I think that's a big deal. Wasikowski, how are you? Lions' chance of going to the Super Bowl after the Bucs winning last night. I would say their chance got no better or no worse. And Lions fan, I saw you on my Twitter feed last night saying that your road got much easier. Did you watch their defense? Because Philadelphia, in my opinion, has a better offense than you have a defense. Now, your coaching and offensive execution's better, And I think right now Jared Goff is a more able quarterback than Jalen Hurts is. But if you think that Baker Mayfield's just going to lay down for you, and his offensive line is significantly better than any offensive line you've probably seen in the last month, because the offensive line the Rams ran out there was not good. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive line, I think, has done a very good job for Baker Mayfield. And I think Baker Mayfield has avoided those terrible mistakes. Now, can he continue to do that? We'll see. But he's got wide receivers that can actually operate. And the funny thing about the Bucs and the Lions is, I think that as good as the Lions are, I think their defense is overvalued. I think their defense is overvalued. They're great up front. I don't love the way they cover. I don't love their schemes in the secondary. I really don't. And I'm curious to see how all of this plays out, because if you are not going to tackle, and imagine the poor tackling that we saw with Puka Nacua. And I love Puka, but he should not have had any of those big plays. That was just poor execution defensively on the outside. You're not going to be able to do that against the Bucs, because their whole game is execution and getting outside the hash marks to make you make tackles. That's their whole game. Big, fast wide receivers that are better than you in the air. And so it's going to be interesting to see how this lines up. But I saw this all over Twitter last night, like people tweeting at me, telling me how much I hate Harbaugh and the Lions. I don't hate Dan Campbell. I actually have a lot of respect for what they've done.
Nice story.
Yeah.
I just don't think you should sell the Bucs short. I mean, I think that, when you're a team that's got Baker a quarterback, you don't have, a Lambo at quarterback. You don't have prime Jalen Hurts or prime Patty or what. Like, you got to make plays outside. It's what I said yesterday. Like, it's a make or miss league, in the sense that your guy's either going to beat his man or not, and that's going to decide the game. As long as Baker doesn't turn it over, the Bucs have a pretty good shot. But again, you guys are playing well too, so I just wouldn't sell them short.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Sean Rollins says, hit the like button. Yes, please do. We are at 1,100 views and only 55 likes. Please hit the like button if you have not. That really helps the channel grow. Victor Roca, SC Trojans. I think you got very lucky.
Victor's the way.
I think you got very lucky that the Bears did not fire the Flus. Is it a good idea to sign Jim as a Raider coach? I mean, I think it's more acceptable, because I think Mark Davis is a guy that likes the marquee. I think he's a guy who, again, I just go back to John Gruden. He hired John Gruden. And I think that's a Mark Davis type hire. Jim Harbaugh is a Mark Davis type hire. I would be surprised if Jim Harbaugh was interviewing with multiple teams.
Are we clear on that?
I think he's got an offer from the Chargers, and I think it is simply a matter of waiting out, because I don't think he's dead set on leaving Michigan, but he's not going to go back without certain assurances. And today, if you didn't see it, Dan Wetzel at Yahoo Sports is reporting that Jim Harbaugh is essentially asking for immunity, and he doesn't want to be terminated or lose money to NCAA sanctions that are coming as a result of his actions. And Michigan, by some accounts, has been reticent to give him that. And I wouldn't disagree with that, because if he's your head coach, you're going to be crippled. So I think Jim is playing that side of the fence, and I think he is playing the Spanos side of the fence. And if he gets, I think it is simply a matter of, will they give him roster control and will they pay him $12 million? And if they do that, I think he'll be the next head coach of the Chargers. I do not see him interviewing for 5 different jobs.
Yeah.
I just don't. That's not why you hire Don Yee. You hire Don Yee because you targeted the Charger job. That's why you hired Don Yee. So I think that much is very clear. And it'll be very interesting to see. It'll be very interesting to see how this Harbaugh thing plays out. I think it is one of the more fascinating situations. Adam Monks, that's why when you compare the $2, the way they lost compared to how bad they played last night. Well, I think that's good. I would fire Nick Sirianni. I would. You cannot look at the fundamental breakdowns in coaching and coaching effectiveness that we saw the last since probably 6 weeks, because the Eagles haven't been the same for some time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And I think it is a failure of leadership from the coaching staff to the locker room. And you just look at the lack of ingenuity and creativity in that offense last night. I don't know what else you need to see. It's going to be tough to replace him. But the fact of the matter is there are guys out there that are more qualified than Nick Sirianni. And his name is Bill Belichick. And if you can get Bill Belichick to be your head coach, is there even a discussion to be had? If Jim Harbaugh said, you know what, Don, go ahead and call the Eagles, and Jim Harbaugh said he wants to be your head coach, okay, you're probably making that move on Sirianni. But until you get a better candidate to be your head coach, I don't know that you can fire Sirianni. You should.
Yeah, you weren't really the same team since week 12. After week 12, the 49er loss, 42-19, you weren't the same team.
I would agree with that.
One win in your last, what is this, 6 games against the Giants. You just weren't the same team.
I don't know how you describe this kind of fall off. I think it's a couple of things. I've seen all night. Oh, the Eagles ran out of gas. They didn't run out of gas. Fuck, man. It's January 16th. Who's got gas in the tank? Who? There's injuries all over the NFL this time of year. I think you look at what they ran out of. They ran out of want to. They ran out of belief. That's what they ran. They're the non-believers in Sirianni in that locker room, right? And I think that's what you ran out of.
Unbelievers.
And it's why you're not in the division round. And you have to look at the Packers. The Packers are going to go and get their ass kicked in San Francisco. Have to believe it. You look at the Bucs and the Lions. I mean, there's a reason the Lions are not favored by a touchdown at home. And you look at the other games, Baltimore is favored by 9. San Francisco is favored by 10. Why are the two teams on Sunday not favored by a touchdown? Because there's not belief in them. You look at Buffalo and my guy Big Daddy Magic today, hitting me on the DMs with the incredible video today, where he's talking about my non-believer-ish-nish in his guy Josh Allen.
Monty, Buffalo Bills all day, every day. You're the toast of the toast when it comes to sports talk. You're the GOAT. But you need to put respect on Josh Allen's name, the greatest show on 2 legs in the NFL. This is your beloved Goodwill Ambassador, Big Daddy Magic, the heavyset one with the big gun with the sweet tongue. Big Daddy Magic.
It's gold. It's absolutely gold.
This is your beloved.
That's my guy, the Monty Show
Daddy
ambassador.
Magic, the heavyset one with the big gun with the sweet tongue.
But I'm telling you, I understand that Patty Ice and his brother Jackson haven't played a road game in the playoffs. I get it. His annoying wife has not been on the road in the playoffs. I get it. I'd also remind you that they've won the Super Bowl. Do they play those in Kansas City?
Hey, is Andy Reid successful in Kansas City?
Actually, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say they play the Super Bowl in a neutral site. And they do fine. And everybody's like, well, they haven't been to Buffalo. Well, actually, they have, because it's colder in Kansas City than it was in Buffalo. The road is not going to determine the win here. Josh Allen, who unhappily for somebody on this show, did not throw an interception. Notice he doesn't turn the ball over, and what happened? They won the game. They won the game. But he turns the ball over, and what happens? They don't win the game. And he's going to face an enormity of pressure that I don't know that he's ready to face, because Kansas City schematically is very, very good defensively.
Is it possible that they could ride the D?
They can. They can ride the D. And they're going to pressure the quarterback. And Josh Allen's going to feel the heat. And my question is, will he execute? That's if he executes, Big Daddy Magic is going to have a very good day this weekend.
Big Daddy Magic, the heavyset one with the big gun with the sweet tongue.
If Josh Allen doesn't execute, I got news for you. They're not going, the Big Daddy Magic's going to struggle a little bit. Right? I mean, they're going to struggle because he is a guy that Josh Allen, when he struggles, what happens?
Turns the football over.
Turns
does
the
it a
football
lot.
over, and often.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see exactly how all this plays out. I'm not saying Josh Allen's a bad quarterback. I'm telling you that the Bills are going to have to execute at a very high level. That's what I'm telling you. And the fact that that Bills game is 2.5 in favor of the Bills means that it's a toss-up. I personally like the Lions at home. I think that building was lit, and I think there's a real good chance the Lions go to the NFC Championship game, where I think that they will play the 49ers. Because that defense and Love is showing you that he is a legit NFL quarterback. He's not ready for what San Francisco's about to put down on them.
No.
Because you look at the stretch of games to start the season with the Lions, Raiders, Broncos, Vikings that were all losses. At the Steelers was a loss. At the Giants was a loss. Home for the Buccaneers was a loss. Here's the question I'm asking you. Where's the quality win the last 3 weeks of the season? Because it wasn't the Panthers, the Vikings, or the Bears. Right? It wasn't the Bears, the Falcons, who they lost to, or the Saints. And it wasn't a putrid Dallas Cowboy offense.
Because it's garbage.
You look at the wins this team has. It's the Bears twice, the Saints, the Rams, the Chargers, the Lions, which was a good win in Detroit, Kansas City, good win. How do you lose to the Giants and the Buccaneers? I don't know either. And my point is, this Packer team is very, very, very vulnerable. And I think the 49ers are ready. I think they are well coached. Brock Purdy's going to have to make some throws, and we'll have to see what's up with Jair Alexander in that secondary. But I think the 49ers are ready.
Absolutely.
And I think when you talk about what's ready and who you should be ready for, I think you absolutely, positively, nothing? Have to.
What? I was waiting for you to finish it.
That's what they all say.
Wow. Wow, dude.
You got to be ready to win that bread at prizepicks.com. Promo code Monty.
See? I was waiting for you to finish the transition.
Now, listen, you guys. I think as you're all aware because you watch the show every day, I'm one good-looking dude, right? Like I am. If Justin Hebert is a sex machine, I don't even know what I would call myself. I mean, the Diesel.
Big Daddy Magic.
Right? I mean, just... You and to further back that up, you look at the way that I dominate on Prize Picks. I am on a heater. I am on a heater, right? And I think I've won 4 in a row on Prize Picks, which is very difficult to do. Last night, I almost put on a fur hat because pimps are going to pimp, right? And I decided against it. Only because I'm humble, right? Like I'm humble. I never talk about how awesome and good looking I am, even though I am, right? And I just did. But the point is, you look at the way I dominated last night. Baker Mayfield over 274.5. Monty, you're fat and stupid.
And when I woke up this morning, I was feeling pretty dangerous.
337 yards. Jalen Hurts over 199.5, 218 yards. Larry Markkanen, Markkanen.
Who the fuck are you?
Laurie McDaddian. Laurie Markkanen for the Utah Jazz last night. 36.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I chose more because I believe in that soldier. I believe that Laurie Markkanen is, stroke it, big fella. That came out wrong.
Stroke it, big fella.
You got to get stroked.
36.5 points.
I think I've hit it every time.
Rebounds and assists. I went more, and he put up 46.
I'm almost like Notre Dame.
And when they trade that motherfucker, somebody going to get a really good power forward.
Yeah, we're not making any changes.
The point is, it's another win. And so tonight, your boy is on that Prize Picks grind, baby. As though I can see it before it happens. I'm the soothsayer of
Big Daddy Magic, the heavy-set one with the big gun.
the soothsayer of
Sweet tongue.
Jimmy Layers. I got nothing. Stuart Skinner, the goaltender for by our and yours, the Edmonton Oilers, 22.5 saves on a Taco Tuesday. I'll take it because he's playing the Toronto Maple Leafs. They average 32.5 shots a game. Devin Booker, that's my dude. 39.5 points, rebounds, and assists against Sacramento. Not a chance in the world. We're less. Caitlin Clark. She's got one of the worst teams in the Big Ten in Wisco. She's going to probably not play all those minutes late in the game, so we're going less than 48.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Mark it down. I'm winning. I'm winner. The unbelievers.
Yeah.
Winner.
Yeah.
Winning, right? Get on Prize Picks, prizepicks.com. Use the promo code Monty. Jake's losers tonight.
Unbelievers.
Absolutely. He's got Skinner as well. Joel Embiid, look at this fraud. Joel Embiid against the Denver Nuggets.
Right.
And Nikola Jokic.
Venice Parade.
I love mispronouncing names. Here, I'll say it correctly. Nikola Jokic. One dunk for Joel Embiid tonight. Jake took more. Wreck it. And then Isaiah Joe from the Oklahoma City Average Thunder.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Who lost to those sweet, sweet LA Lakers. Half a turnover, more. So you're hoping Isaiah Joe turns the ball over.
One time. Once.
My guess is he will not turn it over.
Much like Josh Allen, I needed one interception out of Josh Allen. Did he do it? No.
No.
Jeff Woodworth, careful about betting on Iowa players. Heard there was some trouble with that last year.
Hey, Kirk Ferentz, what's the over-under on Katie Clark tonight?
I knew today would be shitty.
I don't know. Ask my son who I fired. The Buffalo Hunter, Baker Mayfield or Baker may fuck up the Eagles.
And when I woke up this morning, I was feeling pretty dangerous.
Oh, I love it. Baston mates, a healthy San Francisco Steve, it's Super Bowl or bust this year.
Oh, I agree completely.
A healthy San Fran team, Steve. Did Steve say something? I don't know. I have a fur hat, Big Daddy Magic says you should rock it, dude. Katie Rader, Baker may fumble. Okay. Ferris Khan, Packers 31, 49ers 21.
Oh, please.
Okay. I mean, I can get you into a rehab because that sounds like drug use. Tanner Plummer, wait a minute, Monty. If Laurie isn't the best player on the Jazz, then why did you bet on him? I didn't say he wasn't the best player on the Jazz. See, the group, here's the problem. You get into the members-only content on the channel, DM Jake, $10 a month, hit join, $10 a month, you get into our members-only Instagram chat. Now, I cannot confirm this. An independent neurologist did, though, tell me that when you get in that group, you all of a sudden lose your ability to read and your cognitive skills go down. Because I said Lauri Markkanen is not the player on the Jazz playing the best basketball right now. I believe that's Colin Sexton.
Oh, you said he's not the best player anymore.
And I even came back again and said, yeah, Lauri Markkanen's the best player on the Jazz. That doesn't mean he's playing the best basketball.
No redos.
But does he put up points, rebounds, and assists? Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Does he look great with a shaved head? He doesn't. He looks like he needs fettuccine.
Via social media.
You know. Adam Monks, have you seen what Utah Jazz are cooking? I haven't. I don't.
How about you say, hey, have you been watching the Jazz lately?
Am I just going to call you Adam Cutlets now? Is that what we're going to do?
I mean, dude, like, what are we doing?
Where is the Italian?
Sean Rollins says hour number 2, of course. Joseph Harper says Monty sent you my picks. Yeah, Joseph Harper loves to do these like, okay, $3 parlay, 16 picks. All right, this guy's gonna, and he and she and they, and he's so into Prize Picks now. He's betting on like Call of Duty games.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
Oh wait, that's me and Jake. So Jake says to me today, hey, bro.
Well, hold on,
hey,
hold on. What did you say?
Monty.
You said, oh, I'm the best at this. I got all this bread in this account now. I've been winning for days. Where you at, bro?
Hey, Monty, why don't we bet on some Call of Duty?
So what I said is, hey, little Monty, since you got all that bread, why don't you play some Prize Picks on COD players? So you did.
And here's what Jake did. Shotzi and Hydra.
You're casual.
103.5 kills on 1 through 3 maps. Some asshole named Scrap to get 24.5.
Yes, Americans.
Less. And Fame. Hey, this is my friend Fame and my other friend Vivid.
I want the best people.
Subscribe to our OnlyFans account.
Okay.
99.5. He went less map kills. So, of course, me being the Prize Picks COD expert.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, I've never heard of any of these people. Kleenex. His name is Kleenex.
Buddy's name is Kleenex.
I went for the highest numbers I could find, right? And I had 3 guys at like 50, 53, 52.5. Jake's like, no, bro, you got to play a combo. That's a heater.
Shit's going good.
Heat check time, fat ass. So I was like, okay. So I went to the combo tab. And I also took Shotzi and Hydra. I hope you guys die on
Buddy's
COD
name
a lot.
is Shotzi.
And then I got Vivid for 52.5. I noticed I just took the highest numbers possible and went less.
A lot.
Yeah, I know how to play the system.
Okay.
RJC man, Monty, Dak retraction, please. Why? He's
What are you talking
finished
about,
second
dude?
in the MVP voting. Why would I retract anything? Bailey Dietrich, Monty acting like Matt Weiss. Have I ever been wrong? Harry Austin. So that is my excuse to my wife. I joined the Monty Show private chat room, and that's why I make poor decisions.
That's correct.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Correct.
That's right. I mean, you hear from Tanner Plummer all day long on the show.
Macaque.
You know. Sean Rollins, Cavs messed up with that trade. They did. Donovan Mitchell, though, has been very good for them, but they're going to trade him.
Bonnie, please.
Coming up in about an hour, we're going to talk some NBA on the show. Tanner, what, Monty? Your logic makes 0 sense. Okay.
Bro,
Okay.
what do you mean?
Colin Sexton has been playing the best basketball, period. He has been playing the best basketball of anybody on the
That
Yes.
doesn't make him their best player.
That's correct.
How is this hard to understand?
Absolutely correct. Correctamundo.
Yeah.
You know. So it is what it is. Mapes, I didn't know it was legal to bet on 12-year-olds. I have no idea.
Catch me outside. How about that?
I have no idea. Are we betting on 12-year-olds?
I have no idea.
I could not tell you. I miss Call of Duty.
Seriously.
Jake's kind of a, how do I say this? Jake's kind of a degenerate. So he just, because he goes on these scrolling grinds on Insta Snapface.
Dilly dilly.
This cat's sending me COD videos at 2 a.m. Oh, bro, you remember this? Like this, he sends me a video of some dude playing Call of Duty
Via social media.
getting a nuke.
On Rust, bro.
It was amazing.
It was awesome.
Mike Smith, him video looks frozen, but audio is still going. Anyone else?
Oh God.
OG Gary, Jake's setting Monty up for failure. Absolutely.
What?
And look, if the other kids jumped off a bridge, do you too? Fucking yes.
Obviously not.
Excuse my French. Yes. Head first, Mom. So I did. And you and I both know that that's going to happen. Tanner Plummer, I could make the same argument that Laurie is playing better basketball than okay. You go ahead, man. Go in the bathroom.
Oh, what are you talking about, man?
Go in the bathroom. Or better yet, turn on a video and make it a selfie and just argue with yourself. That's how I would handle it.
Yeah.
Ron Nolan, this show is aged like blue cheese. Thank you. I hate blue cheese.
Yeah, screw blue cheese.
Lopes fan Gabe, it's just you, Mike Smith. All good on this side. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Shooter Texas, sorry, but cod is just something that the Brits serve with chips. Oh, fish and chips.
See what he did. See what he did there. So cod, like the white fish.
Ron, you just said the naughty word. Yeah, blue cheese is disgusting.
Yeah, dude. Nobody eats blue cheese, dude.
All right, let's talk about Nick Sirianni and the Philadelphia Eagles to kick off hour number 2 on Giving Tuesday. Don't forget, Giving Tuesday, this Tuesday, presented by our good friends at TryDayTrading.com, TryDayTrading.com/Monty. You guys get there. Here's what you get. You get a 30-day trial membership, their entire program for 30 days. You make a $10 charitable donation, you can win a $100 Amazon gift card. And I think we only have 4 entries so far, so your chances are very, very good. TryDayTrading.com. I want to give away the $100 gift card.
And again, get creative with it. This is not difficult. We're not even asking you to go to the store, bro. Like, this is easier than Bucked Up. Like,
this is 30 seconds.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's anyway. Yeah. So it's it's not that difficult. Like, it literally is a 30-day trial so they can show you what the program's about. And if you don't like it, you don't have to keep going.
Yeah, there's no obligation at the end of it.
It's not that much to ask, dude.
And it is, I think it is one of the truly best. I think it's one of the truly best trial programs I've ever seen, because they know that the program is really good at TryDayTrading.com/Monty. Sign up for the $10 30-day trial membership. DM Jake a screenshot of you doing that, and you can win a $100 Amazon gift card in an hour and 15 minutes. It truly is that simple.
Yeah.
Giving Tuesday, every Tuesday on the show, we give away a $100 Amazon gift card. So hook it up. TryDayTrading.com/Monty. Should the Philadelphia Eagles fire Nick Sirianni? And here's my plea. I think Nick Sirianni was a good, not great hire. I think when you look at Nick Sirianni and you look at how the Eagles got run last night, how are you, the owner of the Philadelphia Eagles, who's a really good owner, in my opinion, spends money, is aggressive in the personnel markets. How are you looking at the way that your team defended last night? How are you looking at the way that they just didn't tackle last night? How are you looking at the way that the wide receivers ran routes uninspired, without a care in the world for what was happening at the line of scrimmage? Uninspired football. How are you going to make the case that you should keep this head coach? How are you going to make that case when Bill Belichick is just chilling in the cut, interviewing for jobs, I don't know, like the Atlanta Falcons where he interviewed? You could have Bill Belichick as your head coach, and you're going to stick with Nick Sirianni. I think that's a terrible decision, because you don't recover from the loss that they had the last 6 weeks, and certainly not the loss they had last night with the same group of dudes. And Nick Sirianni has no intention of turning that roster over. Now, is it going to turn itself over? It is. They have a massive amount of free agency. Jason Kelce reportedly told his teammates he's retiring last night. A leadership change is coming. Make it a clean sweep. Jake, I think there's no doubt that the Philadelphia Eagles should clean house, and Nick Sirianni should be part of that.
Absolutely. I think that you just can't get past what happened last night. And I really feel like the final dagger wasn't even last night. I think the final dagger was the A.J. Brown injury. After that, you could see the life come out of this team. And honestly, like I have to agree, it didn't look like they believed they could win that game last night. Whether it was the wide receivers and their lack of effort or getting beat on the tush push play, like there are a lot of things from last night where you're like, yeah, this team was uninspired. Hey, maybe a reset this season of, some free agency. Obviously, you're keeping Jalen Hurts, but like, just kind of resetting the team, getting a new voice, getting energy back into the organization. Maybe that's all you need. Maybe you're in a good enough spot that that's all you need. But what I'm saying is that when your Hall of Fame center retires and A.J. Brown's got a knee right now and you have a lot of free agency happening, this team's going to be different next year, whether you like it or not. So while it's going to be different, why don't we just go ahead and make the change that's needed? Because if you keep this guy for another 2 years, or let's just say you let him finish out the deal, right? He finishes his final year, then we move on from him. That's still a year too late, because at that point, where's the league going to be? Is Bill Belichick going to be in a better situation beating you on the football field? Like, what would happen if another organization hired Bill, you see them in the playoffs and you lose with Nick Sirianni? How are you going to feel? You really tell me Bill Belichick's not interested in the Philly job? Everybody's interested in the Philly job. It's the Philadelphia Eagles. It's one of the best organizations in the league. So to me, I think this is pretty clear. This is much clearer than, let's say, Dallas's situation or anyone else you want to look at. This, to me, is take your emotions out of it, make the move, reset the organization, and go right back to the playoffs next year. And if you do that, you're going to be thinking yourself when you look back and you say, hey, yeah, after that loss, we said, hey, Nick, really appreciate all your effort. You did an awesome job for this organization, but we're going to have to move on. Because that's the league. Coaches get hired to get fired. It's that simple. Whether it takes 24 years or 5 years, eventually you're getting fired as a head coach. So that's why I say I would make the move. It's not that hard.
Yeah, I think Sirianni's got to go. I think when you have the caliber of coaches that are available now, I mean, even if it's not Belichick, I think when you look at the idea of a guy like a Ben Johnson from Detroit, I don't know how you don't make that phone call. I mean, is that a step back from Sirianni? Probably, but you cannot go any further down the black hole with Nick Sirianni, in my opinion. And I think when you look at the way that teams have failed after losing the Super Bowl, it's very difficult to overcome that. And the Philadelphia Eagles have too much talent to be this bad. You have an MVP caliber quarterback. I think you have all pro caliber wide receivers. I think your defense, you spent money, you drafted, you have all of these options, and it simply did not come to fruition. And you have guys like Brandon Graham who wants to be back. You have guys who want to be there and want to fight for the city and want to go back to a Super Bowl. You got to capitalize on that. And I think it is very difficult, whether you are Bill Callahan in the Raiders or Jimmy Johnson in the Dallas Cowboys, who fired coaches after Super Bowls. You've got to make difficult decisions when you're the owner of a team. And it just does not matter to me that Nick Sirianni is a guy that went to the Super Bowl last year. I don't care. It's not what you did last year, because at that point, it's 2 seasons removed. I want to know what you're doing right now. I want to know what my locker room says you're doing. I want to know what my eyes tell me you're doing on the field. And none of it's good in Philadelphia.
Facts.
Not a single bit of it is good in Philadelphia. And I think it's a very tough hill to climb to keep guys engaged when you lose the way they lost. They were disinterested last night.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Baker and I love his story. And that defense in Tampa is very good. You're not that. The Philadelphia Eagles in Poughkeepsie, New York, or the Bahamas or Tampa Bay are better than the Buccaneers on every field.
And I think the other damning thing for Nick Sirianni is that the Cowboys got run out of the playoffs and you still look uninspired. And I understand that, hey, the Cowboys maybe aren't the end all be all of how you look at football. But if I'm looking at that division, I'm sitting here saying, hey, man, the expectation for Philly is to win that division. That's
every year
the standard, bro. And so you look at this season and it's like, okay, you get the division, you get to the playoffs, everything's good. And then that performance last night, I don't know how else to describe it from a player perspective other than you didn't believe you could win that game. And I can only think you didn't believe you could win that game because AJ Brown's hurt and you don't have the firepower and you just didn't. It just looked like you weren't wanting to play. That's just I can't get away from that.
And I think that the best example in comparison to what happened in Philly is what almost happened to Buffalo, because I think that blocked field goal, that was really close to disaster for Buffalo. And you had a Pittsburgh defense that didn't want to be there and didn't want to play. And that blocked field goal changed everything. And to the point we were making earlier, if Josh Allen continues to turnovers, like you have an interim offensive coordinator there, like you have a defensive head coach. And my point and the reason I bring up the Bills is if they lose that game, Sean McDermott's probably out of a job.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it should be, because you have a generational quarterback in Josh Allen that's not developing. You have a generational quarterback in Jalen Hurts who's not developing.
I think, to your point, Jalen Hurts is progressing.
Yes.
I think it's worse than Josh Allen. Josh Allen, I agree, is stagnated, although his stagnation is at a high enough level where you're still, contending for the AFC Championship most years under him, and you've won the division 4 years in a row now, I think it is. Jalen Hurts is going backwards, and I can only think, again, it's because they don't believe they can win a ball game.
Yeah. I don't even disagree with that. Jeff Woodworth, Tanner, it was the heat of the moment telling me where my heart went. The heat of the moment. Monty, with all due respect, you guys are being prisoners of the moment.
With all due respect.
Prisoners of the moment?
So you think I want to fire Nick Sirianni because of what happened last night? No, I want to fire Nick Sirianni because it's the culmination of last night was the culmination of really bad offense, really bad schematics, really bad play calling, in my opinion. I think you had a lack of morale and want to last night. I'm not a prisoner of the moment. That's not how the NFL works. You don't fire Mike McCarthy, in my opinion, unless you can get Bill Belichick. You don't fire Mike McCarthy. That would be a prisoner of the moment. Nick Sirianni is not a good NFL head coach right now. And the Philadelphia Eagles have the talent to win the NFC. And yet they're not even going to get a chance to play for it because he's unimaginative. He's a weirdo. He is like, he's just not that guy. He's not that guy. And as a Philadelphia Eagle fan, as usual, you want it both ways. You want to cry, bitch, and moan. And then you're like, well, we're not going to fire this guy. Okay. You're only doing that so that you can be in misery next season as well.
You understand. I just want to point this out.
Drives me crazy.
This isn't my opinion. This is what the record states if you look at their schedule week by week. You are a 500 football team the last 12 weeks of the season. You get that, right? Like,
it's wild.
Like, yeah, sure. Okay, you won 5 in a row. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Then you lost 5 of 6 to end the year, which makes you, that's right, a 500 football team the last 12.
You understand that this
season,
team, this team 100% disintegrated. Absolutely disintegrated.
Like, it's not like they went out and lost by 1 point the way the Rams did,
I mean,
right? And fought to the death.
Dude, yeah, I think he got embarrassed. I think the Philadelphia Eagles got embarrassed. Let's see. Ooh, look at that. Jim Bagley, a new member of the show.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's see. The Buffalo Hunter, a member for 8 months.
Appreciate you, bro.
Thoughts on Dorian Singer? Wit is cooking. Dorian Singer is an average-ass receiver who bounces around. Okay, you asked. Dorian Singer from USC to Arizona to USC to he's just a guy. And I will continue to say about Witt being on fire, you're not on fire at quarterback because you have no idea what you have going into next year at quarterback.
Well, Cam.
Can he stay healthy? I don't know either. You have got to recruit and develop quarterbacks at a very high level right now. That's your ticket to winning the Big 12 because the quarterback play is getting better and better. Did anybody see that Isaiah Bond went to Texas? He left Alabama and went to Texas.
No, but Sark can't recruit.
And why did he go to
Sark can't
Texas? Did you guys see the video? He posted a video of himself in a Lamborghini. Where's the Ute that's in a Lamborghini? Where's the Ute coming from Alabama to Texas? Dorian Singer is not special. He's not. And he may well come in. He better not be your best receiver, because if Dorian Singer comes in and he's your best receiver, you're in trouble at Utah. You're not talented enough. With all exactly due
With all due respect.
You don't play at 3 colleges in 3 years and think that you're all of a sudden some amazing cat.
With all due respect.
Doesn't work that way. Aaron Wilson gifted a Monty Show membership. Anytime you're ready. Thank you.
Sorry.
Sean Rollins gifted 5 Monty Show memberships. Let's go.
Pick them up.
Let's go. Pick them up. Appreciate all of you guys. And one other point, because I know so many of you said I didn't know what I was talking about. Did anybody notice who is going to the NFL draft today? Talia Tagovailoa. Tungavailoa. Which, no, I'm not going to do that. We're not talking about Pat McAfee today. Who called him Tailoa Tagovailoa. Talia Tungavailoa was denied a 6th year of eligibility. So for everybody who's like, you're stupid, Monty, you don't know what you're talking about.
You lose all credibility.
Trust me, bro, sources. Yeah, he was never going to get a waiver for a 6th year. So he is going to the NFL. Let's keep talking about the Philadelphia Eagles. Ron Nolan, Brian Johnson will be walking the plank. Well, and probably deservedly so, because it just got later. As it got later, they got worse.
Yeah.
Gotta get to class. Check in later. Nick deserves another year. He doesn't. He has done nothing to earn another year in Philadelphia.
Tanner, going to class awfully convenient here, bud.
Nothing has he done to earn another year. James, I wish I could take credit for that idea. Zaxby's sells when it's delicious.
Hi, this is James. Welcome back.
We're having a ranch versus blue cheese argument.
Yay!
Stop. Boston Mapes, they were 10-1. They melted down Chernobyl style. It's the head coach's job to keep that from happening. I'm telling you. It's true. OG Gary, Eric, because people like to throw up flavored cheese and they want what that no, nobody wants flavored cheese.
Like what?
Oh, what are you talking
guys,
about, man?
If we're truly talking about Zaxby's being a place for wings, I'm sad for your life. Zaxby's is not a place you go for wings. It's not a place you go for wings. It's just not in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is. Did Mrs. Monty pick up a free Monty Show membership? Is that what?
She strikes again.
She did. She was gifted a membership by Sean Rollins.
Part of the plan.
As was Tim Cox. Oh, look, Jim Choi, Mark Hales, and Keith Carl, all gifted memberships by Sean. You know, I guess she deserves one. You know, it is what it is. Sean Rollins says, I got you, Mrs. Monty. The eye patch. Utah has no wide receivers, so they will take what they can get. We know as Ute fans that Keithy will lead the team in receiving yards. He's got to stay healthy.
Yeah. But why is he always hurt, though? And this is what I feel like Utah won't embrace. Why does Brant Keithy take a beating every week until he can't play anymore? Oh, that's right, because he's your workhorse, because you don't have anybody else.
Exactly right. Tanner Plummer on Nick Sirianni. One collapse doesn't wipe away all the good things he has done. Did you watch the game last night? They quit. That team quit last night. And Nick Sirianni, I look at his resume, and we were looking at this before the show. And listen, I think he's just an odd dude. He's hard to play for. There's no doubt about that, right? But let's not kid ourselves that this guy is somehow generational. He's 34-17 as the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, right? And I would also remind you, he's below 500 in the postseason. So are we really like, I mean, the guy has lost 2 out of 3 years in the wild card game, and he had the run to the Super Bowl. It's not like this guy is the second coming of anything. Like you're not. You're not. Philly, I get it. You guys don't look at things in detail. I get it. You're fanatics. You look at things on emotion. Check the record. He's lost 2 of 3 years. And do you know who he lost to in both wildcard games? Well, you do now. It's Tampa. And the argument on Twitter last night was, well, he lost to a dynasty. Kansas City is not a dynasty. Kansas City is not a dynasty at that point. And I go back and I continue to say he had 1 good year and 2 really mediocre years. And the way this year ended has torpedoed their ability to build going forward. You have no ability to say that he is a guy that if you cannot trust Nick Sirianni to rebuild this team, he should not be here. Because you're going to completely rebuild this team. With their free agency and your cap situation, you're going to completely rebuild this team.
Facts.
You have an owner and a general manager who have provided you talent, and you completely tanked it. So his shit worked for 1 year. And this year, he ran out. The wick is gone. Yeah. The candle's burned. You got to make a change, period. Shoude, how Colorado going to be hood next with all the coaches leaving to different places? I think that Deion Sanders, I think you're talking about Deion Sanders. When you look at the Colorado coaching staff, I don't think he's had foundational changes on that coaching staff. I do not believe that. Like if you look at, and I'll pull it up just to make sure, but you look at his coaches, his core of coaches are there. And I think when you look at, guys like Gary Harrell, Charles Kelly, Sean Lewis, I think Sean Lewis and Deion Sanders had a fundamental change of opinion. And you had to make changes. You had to make changes. And I think when you look at Pat Shurmur, it was absolutely the right move to make. It was the right move to make. You cannot continue to let Shedeur Sanders get his ass kicked the way he did.
Yeah.
There's just no way. There's no way to spin that. But Gary Harrell, Andre Hart, Kevin Mathis, they're all coming back. The core of that coaching staff is unchanged and will be unchanged and should be unchanged. And I think when you look at the differences with certain guys, Charles Kelly is the only guy that I think you're probably, because that's a long-term guy. But you look at Pat Shurmur, officially the offensive coordinator, I just don't think you're taking a huge step back.
Yeah, and by the way, you better hope that Deion doesn't win, because if he does win, you're going to hear about it a lot.
Well, it's what he said at Oregon. Get me now.
Yeah.
Because I think that's as bad as they're going to be. And I just don't think that in my opinion, I just don't think he's had massive change in the foundation of his program. His program is unchanged. But if Ed Reed winds up as the defensive coordinator at Colorado, or Mike Zimmer, or I mean, there's been a lot of talk about Rex Ryan going to Colorado to be the defensive coordinator. I mean, he's not swinging for Nick Sirianni. Right? I mean, that's just not what he's doing. So, but it is what it is. James gives us $2. Oh, God. Stop. Andy Reid's a better man than you are. Nobody is questioning Andy Reid. Nobody is questioning Andy Reid. Kurt Myers, who the hell did a geek become a coach of Miami? You mean
how the
Mario
hell?
Cristobal? Or are you like?
I think he's talking about Mike.
Oh, well, because he's a phenomenal personality.
And he's a brilliant offensive mind. He just is.
Like if you look at the way that Mike McDaniel came up, and this is my point about Nick Sirianni. Mike McDaniel is building a program. You're moving in the right direction. Like, let's have the Tua Tagovailoa conversation.
Need to have it.
He's playing next year on a 5th-year option. Do you give him a contract extension? I don't think you do.
Well, I think, right now, I don't think you do. I agree. I think the bright spots for Tua this year were, hey, he was able to stay healthy. I could be wrong. I think he played in every game for them. I believe he played in every game for them. So obviously, learning how to fall, alleviating the concussion issues, huge step forward. Tua is a very talented quarterback. I don't know that he's capable of winning a Super Bowl, though. I don't know that he's got the goods to lead a team on the road in bad conditions, in the cold, to win a ball game. I'm not sure that he's that guy. The only question is, in Miami, what's your benchmark? I mean, are you truly trying to be Super Bowl good, or are you cool with, hey, we're going to give Tua, let's call it a 3-year extension with an option after the second year, and we want to be, NFC we want to be like in the championship round. We want to be divisional championship. We want to be somewhere like that with them. I mean, I think that's the logic.
I don't think Tua Tagovailoa wins you an AFC championship.
Yeah, or AFC. I said NFC.
You did say
AFC.
NFC.
AFC.
I mean,
it's fine.
The Wolves playing the East.
But my point is, for Miami, you're better than you were. Like, you've improved. Like, you're in a good place. Like, Tua's not hurt constantly. Like, the AFC is largely a 2-team conference, a 3-team conference at most, right? Kansas City, Buffalo, Baltimore. Those are the 3 guys. Those are the 3 dudes. So is Tua as good as, any of those guys? No, probably not. He's probably below all 3. But he is good enough to take your franchise into the playoffs. Clearly, they showed that this year. So next year, the benchmark is, you got to go out and win a playoff game. And what did I say right after that game? I said, hey, your path through the playoffs, if Tua is going to be your franchise guy, has to be through either your home field in Florida or through warm weather, which typically the only way to guarantee that, obviously, is going to be by having home field advantage. Well, how do you do that? Well, you got to beat the big boys. They didn't do that this year. So that's why I say, I probably right now I'm not giving to an extension. But again, where are you going to go for a quarterback? Because again, you're not going to run an experiment on Joe Flacco. Should they make him a free agent? You're not going to go out and find some random dude after you just went to the playoffs with this guy that's supposed to be your franchise quarterback. So when you say things like, hey, how the hell is there a nerd, being the head coach in Miami? Well, that nerd just took them to the playoffs in the AFC. So that's why I say I don't think Mike McDaniel's done a bad job. I think the guy is new. He's young. He's innovative. He's creative. Love his energy. Love the off-whites on the sideline. The only question is, are they ever going to figure out how to run the ball? And are they ever going to figure out how to play defense? Because until you do that, you're not beating anybody of note. You're not going to the Super Bowl. And again, the question still remains, is Tua a Super Bowl caliber quarterback? And I don't think he is. I don't think he's got that quality. Can you not just finish the thought first before we go into bathroom issues?
Tua is not, in my opinion, yet a Super Bowl caliber quarterback. And I think that if you look at Mike McDaniel, the thing he's done is he's built an offense that is prolific. And I think the biggest question is, will they upgrade their defense and stay healthy? If they do that, you owe it to that team to have a quarterback that you can believe in. And I don't believe that Tua was up for the moment. That's just my opinion. Stop talking to me in the bathroom. It's so
Who talked to you?
This homie. Like, we're just so there is a lobby outside of our office where people sit and they watch this.
Hey guys.
I walk out, I go to the bathroom. I'm like fully partaking in Tinkletown, right? And this guy's like, hey, what are you guys talking about in there? I'm like, oh yeah, we're just doing a talk show. And it just like, honestly, I must have 10 gallons inside, right? Because it just keeps on rolling. Oh, wow. That's, I always wanted to do a podcast and just going on about podcast difficult to do. Hey, bud. I'm like, so then I'm finished and I'm like, no, it's easy. And I'm like zipping up and I walk over to the sink and he's like, like, do a lot of people listen to your show? I'm like, hey man, I got to run. Okay, great. Thanks. Like, shut. It's in my hand. Don't talk to me when
It's in my hand.
Holden Middick.
It's in my hand. Stop talking to me. Like, you stay over there. Right? Please. Oh my God. All right. Would you extend to a Tagovailoa?
Not right now.
You would not. Okay.
No, not right now.
Boyd Lake, you need to create a segment called The Four Normans of the Monty Show. Okay. Ron Nolan, your radar says that they will win.
What?
Okay. Marley Nuggs, go blue. What's up, Marley? Good to see you. Boston Mapes, Kyle Shanahan tree is awesome. It is. Boyd Lake, potty break, yes. James says Tua needs to be a Super Bowl caliber quarterback. Miami has to make the defense better. Their defense before they got hurt was fantastic. I mean, like, I think they had 87 defensive ends go down this year.
It's a defense.
Like, it was unbelievable. Their D-line and edge rushers were decimated. Even Van Ginkel then went down. But I mean, you had all these dudes that got hurt. Like, I think that they are in a very good spot.
Is it possible that they could ride the D?
I mean, you know, that bite is never going to live down.
Nope.
Never going to live down.
Nope. And
I think that the impressive part about Miami is that they did not fold down the stretch like they had historically. And to finish 11-6, sixth in the AFC, behind Cleveland that was upstart, Kansas City, Buffalo, and Baltimore, I think is very good. And the unfortunate part is that roster, I don't know how you explain how their defense fell apart. Because if you look at guys like even Bradley Chubb, I mean, Andrew Van Ginkel, Jalen Phillips having an unbelievable year, and then tears his Achilles tendon. Like, how do you explain that? And Xavier Howard and Javon Holland and like all these guys limping around injured. But then you look at guys like Christian Wilkins and you look at Zach Seiler, like fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Their defensive line is, I think Christian Wilkins is one of the most underappreciated players in the country. And I think it is absolutely, their defense is not their biggest problem.
Mm-hmm.
I think they are going to have to figure out how to keep Tua upright.
Yeah.
That I would invest in offensive line. Cam Harrison, what's up, Cam? Good to see you. He says, shout out to Mo Bamba.
Shout out to
Come on.
Mo Bamba.
Shout out to Mo Bamba.
Oh, look at you. You have what, 700 drops?
Yes, 21 pages now.
That is a great poll.
Of 4 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 21 times 32.
21.
672.
Right. Little Adam Schefter bomb. Chargers interviewed Terrence Gray today from Buffalo, their player personnel director, to be their general manager. So now we're starting to see that the LA Chargers are interviewing people to be their front office personnel. He's a guy that is very well thought of, Terrence Gray. And I am curious if he fits the mold. Obviously he's a minority candidate, but he is a very, very, very good personnel man. I thought he would get the Raider job. Las Vegas would like to speak to him as well. But again, they're also, Adam Peters was absolutely thievery for Washington. How the Commanders got Adam Peters from San Francisco, I'll never understand it. I think Ed Dodds and I think certainly Terrence Gray are two of the better ones out there. But that'll be interesting to see. Are we just Rooney ruling, or are we? And I'm not trying to be a jerk about it.
Keep it real.
Right? I'm not trying to be a jerk about it. But it is very interesting to me that we're in a situation where you just don't know. You just don't know what's real and what's not.
Mm-hmm.
And that, for my money anyway, that's going to be a very, very interesting question, is to see how long Terrence Gray stays in Buffalo. Because I actually think he's going to be one of those guys that's going to be a superstar in somebody's front office.
Yeah.
So that's a big one. Boyd Lake. Some guys get stage fright when guys talk in the John. I hate it. I don't like it at all. Whoa. Comment dump. Jeff Woodworth, if you speak in the bathroom, you better watch your splash. That's how wars get started. Seriously. Do you use the back of the urinal or do you use a splash pad?
Splash pad.
I'm a splash pad
Yeah,
guy.
back of the urinal's too messy, bro.
Yeah, I have high-end shoes.
Yeah.
Wasakowski, sometimes it pays to be an introvert. Go to the stall. Nah, bro.
Waves in opposition.
I don't like peeing in a stall.
Nah, it's too loud, bro.
I don't even care about that. I'm not a pee in a stall guy.
Uh-huh.
I'm not. But it is what it is. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, wow. Corey Raymond back to LSU. Boy, bros, Brian Kelly's building at LSU.
Hey, guys.
You should be frightened. You should be frightened because he is going to be LSU is going to be good.
Yeah.
He is going to be they are building. And I think that is like I look at what Ohio State's done this offseason already with Ross Bjork and making him their athletic director. You're never filling those shoes. Let's just be honest about it. But you look at his resume, with Ole Miss and Texas A&M and now Ohio State, or excuse me, the Ohio State.
Uh-huh.
You understand that these brands are the brands that they are because they fired Nick Sirianni.
Yeah.
They're the brands that they are because when you lose one of the most tenured executives in all of sports, you go and you get a really, really good, and Ross Bjork, a really good administrator, really well thought of. I mean, he at one point I think was the youngest athletic director in college athletics. I love the hire. I do. So it's going to be very interesting to see. But I'm warning you now. LSU and Brian Kelly and that football team, they are building. They are. I think everybody sees Saban retiring as an opportunity.
Certainly.
And I think it is. And I think Lane Kiffin trolling people, and I think Brian Kelly hiring people, and it's going to be very interesting to see exactly how all of this plays out in the SEC. But LSU is absolutely banging.
Yeah.
Absolutely banging. The Monty Show presented by The Advocates, theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business at The Advocates. And again, you guys, with what are we, January 16th? I think it is 17 degrees outside right now in Salt Lake City.
Bro, is that a joke or are you being serious?
No, I'm being the low tonight is 23.
21.
And it just depends on how you look at it, but 33 outside, excuse me. So we are just above freezing in Salt Lake City. There's going to be accidents, car accidents, bicycle accidents, slips and falls. Last winter, we saw amazing people riding through snowstorms on bicycles, right? Like crazy things happen. You have to be ready. You have to be ready when you get in a car accident, when you get hurt at work, when you slip and fall. You got to say to yourself, man, I got to call the advocates. Have it in your mind. If you've been in an accident, if you got hurt at work, zero cost to talk to an attorney. Zero. You're never going to reach into your pocket to work with the advocates. Chat with an attorney right now, live online, theadvocates.com, no matter where you are, theadvocates.com. Chat with an attorney. There's a button right in the middle of the page, and it won't cost you a dime. The best in the business are great partners at The Advocates, theadvocates.com. A couple other things in football I want to get to. Can we have a discussion about Mike Tomlin? Because Mike Tomlin last night was asked about his contract and just plain and simply walked off the dais and would not answer the question. Ended the press conference. And then went into the locker room apparently and told his team that he'll be back in 2024.
Soft person tendency.
Does Mike Tomlin deserve to be the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers?
I don't think he does. I think that there's a difference between being an organization that has a reputation of giving their head coach every opportunity to right the ship, right? Okay. Hey, you had a 7-win season. Last year you were a 12-win team. Okay. We'll give you another shot. Okay, fine. If that's the kind of organization you want to run, that's fine. But the Steelers, I feel like reputationally speaking, are now starting to wade into some more negative waters, meaning, hey, you're keeping a guy in Mike Tomlin. And listen, he's done a great job over the years, right? Like, obviously, model of consistency, 9 wins, above 500 every year, or whatever. Like, okay, cool, we get it. But there just hasn't been top-end winning, which is why I say for one of the most iconic brands in football, you're chill with just making your money every year. Winning right now is not a priority, because if it was, Tony Romo's favorite quarterback wouldn't be quarterbacking for you. Your roster would look very different, and Mike Tomlin would already be in a different city. But it's not. And that's what I have to say about that little stunt that Mike Tomlin pulled. He's okay doing that because the Steelers are okay with him doing that. And that's a problem for me.
Yeah, I think that Mike Tomlin is a very good NFL head coach, but I also think he's run his course in Pittsburgh. And I think Pittsburgh is that team that's loyal to a fault. And I think Mike Tomlin's done great things in Pittsburgh, but that's an organization that needs a change of direction. You look at the lack of consistency and quality at the quarterback. And I know, how dare I say that about Mason Rudolph, right? He's not an NFL starting quarterback, and certainly not in the postseason. And I don't know that they have one. And I think if you are Mike Tomlin, I think you have real issues with passion in that locker room. We saw a team that did not want to be there in the first half in Buffalo. They didn't want to be there. Like, we watched Minkah Fitzpatrick option out of a hit. Just didn't want to hit somebody. And my belief is that you can't have the same head coach for 10 years. There are very few guys, Bill Belichick aside, who can sustain greatness in this day and age in the NFL for a decade. Mike Tomlin's run his course. It doesn't mean he's a bad guy or a bad coach. But the fact that he is not accountable, and it is just unbelievable that you would ask me about my contract, and then you walk out and end a presser, that tells you that it's time for change in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a bad head coach. He truly is not. He truly is not. Let's see. OG Gary, Mike Tomlin needs to coach the Cowgirls or my Saints. Well, Dennis Allen is the head coach of the New Orleans Saints. Great defensive coordinator, shouldn't be a head coach. Shouldn't be a head coach. Boyd Lake, Steelers, like many others, need a quarterback. They do. Drew Dozer says Roadhouse. Great movie. I don't know. Wasikowski, the Steelers are a football team from 20 years ago. They think defense still wins championships.
Well, I don't disagree that defense can still win a championship. Look what's going on in San Francisco. That's a dominant defense. But I just can't believe that, again, we're not talking about, like, with all due respect, we're not talking about Jacksonville or Houston here.
No.
We're talking about Pittsburgh, bro. We're talking about, like, as much as I hate Ben Roethlisberger and all his nonsense off the field, like, we're talking about Jerome Bettis, right? We're talking about Troy Polamalu. All these dudes.
Yeah.
Like, we've moved on from that era of Steelers football, and it's a shame because they have a loyal fan base. They are iconic. They could be really good. They choose not to be.
I don't know how you fix it, because it's going to be a decision that will divide people.
Mm-hmm.
The Steelers just don't fire coaches. And I look, again, Bill Cowher, like Chuck Noll, like, you look at the history of the Pittsburgh Steelers, they just don't fire guys. You need to make a change here. And I don't know how that happens. I really don't know how that happens. Truly. How do you fix that? I have no idea. Jeremy Severe, Steelers need an offensive coach and a QB. NFL is an offensive league. But, and much to your point about Detroit, it's not like Jared Goff is a world beater at quarterback, but he's good enough. And you have enough tools offensively, but that team's going to win or lose on defense.
Yep.
Right. And I look at the Rams. Matthew Stafford ain't that guy, but that team wins with Matthew Stafford because he can still throw the football all over the field.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got weapons. And I look at the teams losing in the playoffs. Like, again, to Philadelphia, it's a heart and soul issue. But every team has to have line play and a quarterback.
Yes.
And Pittsburgh doesn't. The Chicago Bears don't. Like, I truly do not know how Pittsburgh has gotten as far as they have gotten, because every year I feel like we leave them for dead. I
And I
truly
think that's the thing with Mike Tomlin. You know, you ask certain sectors of Steeler Nation, and I'm sure they would tell you, bro, he just went to the playoffs with Mason Rudolph back there. Like, I mean, you don't have a quarterback and you went to the playoffs. Like, what would he do if he had, you know, Justin Herbert or like some franchise level guy? Like, so certain sectors of Steeler Nation advocate for Mike in that way.
Yeah.
But that's why I say it like, while this whole thing where he walks off the dais and everything, there's people in the media saying, well, what would you expect him to say? I'd expect him not to walk off the dais. I would expect him to say, yeah, you know what? This season didn't end the way we wanted it to, but I expect to be back. Because if you're willing to tell your players that, then you should be willing to say it to the media.
I would expect him to say, now's not the time to talk about me. The season just ended, you know, like we need, like, that's what I would expect. Just like Bill Belichick said.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I would expect. But Mike Tomlin, he's a guy that I think wins a lot of regular season games. He is a sub 500 postseason coach. And I think that Mike Tomlin, and I know everybody knows this, Mike Tomlin won a Super Bowl in his second year as an NFL head coach. And the next year, what happened? He missed the playoffs. And he's missed the playoffs 6 years. And I get it. I get it. Right. But he's been to what? He's won the Super Bowl. He's been to another. And the guy just generally does not get out of the AFC wildcard game.
Mm-hmm.
And when he does, he went to the AFC championship game. What year was that? Like 2016, I think it was. Other than that, it's been the wild card the last 5 years.
Yeah.
I don't know when this became a league of mediocrity. That's the part that I just can't
Owners
get it.
are greedy, bro. They want one thing. And if that means they're mediocre, fine. Notice what happened in Houston. Oh, we stopped being competitive. So attendance got a little bit lighter and we stopped being relevant. So our profit went down. And hey, you know, yeah, sure, we're still doing concerts and events at NRG, but it's not quite the same because our football team's not really all that good. Then you decided to go out and draft a guy that you thought you could turn into a franchise quarterback, and here we are.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah,
I think
that is a really, really interesting situation with Mike Tomlin, because I don't believe that Mike Tomlin's one of the best head coaches in the NFL. I don't. I think the Andy Reids of the world, that's an elite head coach. I think everybody wants to ride. Well, Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell's not one of the best coaches in the NFL yet. Does he have a chance to be that? Sure he does.
I think, man, what would it take for Dan Campbell to be regarded as one of the best?
He has to win a Super Bowl.
He's got to win a Super Bowl.
I think, because that's the bar. If you're John Harbaugh, if you're Andy Reid, you know, if you are, is Mike McCarthy in Dallas one of the best coaches in the NFL? I actually think I can make an argument that he is. 36-15 in the last 3 years. How many guys can say that?
Let me ask you this, though.
Sean McVay comes to mind.
Mike McCarthy's an interesting one because we just talked about how Mike Tomlin's very mediocre in the playoffs. Not a good coach in the playoffs. So where does that leave Mike McCarthy right now in Cowboy fan eyes? Because that was, I mean, we talked all about the Eagles today. Like, the Cowboys, in my opinion, were just as embarrassing. And they had nothing to be, they don't have the excuse of, hey, we just didn't feel like it.
Well, the biggest issue is the guy hasn't won in the postseason. He's a 500 postseason coach on the dot in his career. But he's 1-3 with the Cowboys, and that's not going to get it done. The bottom line is he's 42-25 in the regular season in Dallas, and that's awfully hard to replicate. And the question is, if you fire him, like, you can replace Nick Sirianni in Philadelphia. I can replace Arthur Smith in Atlanta. I can replace these coaches that are getting fired.
Yeah.
Can you easily replace Mike McCarthy in Dallas? Can you easily replace Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh? No, you can't.
Man, Mike McCarthy is a really interesting one to me because it's taken the Packers, 3 seasons now to kind of find their way, and Jordan Love was a huge question mark, and you have a young head coach there. Like,
that's right.
There was a lot of figuring out, if you will, that needed to be done. But now it's kind of hard to say, yeah, that's a nice story. And I hate the Packers. I'm a Bears fan. I hate the Packers. That's a nice story. So I don't know. I think Mike McCarthy's a really, really solid head coach. No question about it.
I wouldn't fire Mike McCarthy. And if you can get Belichick, okay. But I can't fire Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, I don't think I'm firing him for anybody else.
That's tough, dude. That's tough. That is really tough. Boyd Lake, give the reporter courtesy of an answer. It wasn't asked in any sort of negative tone. Maybe it was a tough question, but them are the breaks. Yeah, when you lose games, that's the question you're going to get asked.
Yeah, my first reaction to that was I felt like it was a bit childish. I really did. Like, I understand it's heat of the moment and everything, but you're the head coach. Like a player,
yes.
Okay, hey, TJ Watt, okay, chill, dude. I get it. You just lost. You're pissed off. Totally understand. But Mike Tomlin, hey, dude, you're the face of the franchise in terms of, the front office and non-player folks. You need to answer that question. You need to answer that question. That's just like, you can't get around that.
Couple more. Mr. Downtown, the Bears and Jets would sign up for Tomlin today. Oh my God. If Mike Tomlin's available, you're hiring him. If you're the Bears, there's no doubt about it. Bailey Dietrich, Kevin Stefanski.
Well,
is he one of the best coaches in the NFL? No. But he did a hell of a job in Cleveland this year. And when you handed him the washcloth, I don't think you knew what to expect. And I think Stefanski's a guy that deserves a lot of credit for persevering through that. And I mean, the guy, look what he did with Joe Flacco, for crying out loud.
And you know why the Stefanski thing is so different than like Sirianni or any of these other guys? Stefanski's only failure is that Flacco just could not get the job done for him. That's his only failure. He coached this team so far. And it makes you wonder if Deshaun was actually back there playing good football, like I think he's still capable of. How far do you go? I don't know either, but I'm inclined to think that you probably go a little further.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think I find it tough that when you are Joe Flacco, you should expect to win a playoff game. I would not expect to win a I mean, the guy quite literally does not move. So I think that's tough. Mr. Downtown, Mike Tomlin's career mirrors Philly Andy Reid. Well, I disagree. Wow, I don't know what you think in the comment section. Well, one, Andy Reid is an offensive genius. He's won 2 Super Bowls. He is 23-16 in the postseason. 258 and 144 in the regular season. He has, since 2013, in the last 10 seasons, he has missed the playoffs exactly once, and won 2 Super Bowls and been to an AFC championship game 2 other times. I mean, I think he has absolutely dominated. He was not this coach in Philadelphia. I think I would agree he got better in Kansas City. But I think that Andy Reid has been wildly successful as an NFL head coach. Wildly.
Pat Mahomes is not Pat Mahomes without Andy.
Because they built a system to suit him. And they put players around him who they could count on. He's always had a running back. He's always had a running game. You're missing Tyreek Hill. There's no question about that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's just no way to
But again,
argue
as
that.
far as Andy's concerned, who wouldn't miss Tyreek Hill?
Yeah.
I mean, he's a special player.
But I would even give Andy Reid credit for the win against the Dolphins. I mean, did you look at the diversity in their offense? You look at Rashee Rice's emergence here as a guy that you can count on. And again, you're going back to Travis Kelce, who I think is the foundation of that offense. But Travis Kelce's not the same player he's been over the last several years right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you look at the other guys in the spread in that offense. I mean, that you're getting 147 yards on the ground, 90 of that from Pacheco, and that you are using a guy in Clyde Edwards-Helaire who is nothing short of a disappointment, but you're still finding ways to leverage him. It's crazy. It with all the issues you've had, that now Rashee Rice is emerging as a dominant threat. I think it is a big tip of the cap. And you're designing a system for Patrick Mahomes where he throws it 41 times in the cold. That's wild.
And, the other thing I love about Andy Reid too, like, while we're on the Mike Tomlin stuff and all that, like Andy Reid, when he was asked about the cold, didn't even blink. He said, we're not worried about that. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about, I think he said something like, I'm worried about what we're doing in practice. I'm worried about, what we're doing between the white lines or whatever he said. Like that's the type of stuff I need out of my head coach.
Andy Reid embraced the cold.
Yeah.
Freezing mustache and all. But that's just me. I mean, I think it's one of those things where,
like, Andy just gets it, man.
Yeah. Kevin the Destroyer is a 50-year Dallas fan. I'm sick of all the mediocrity, ready to get rid of the whole bunch, coaches and players.
But here's my
Better
question.
start with the owner, man.
Here's my question. 12 and what was it, 5 is not mediocrity. You just cannot for the life of you get over the hump in the playoffs. I don't know what the excuse is for this performance.
Yeah.
Like, where do you go?
The eye patch says breaking news, Josh McDaniel to be Cowboys' new head coach. That's not true. That would be awful. Andy Reid could only go so far with McNabb. He evolved once he was to KC. Reid is way better now than he was with the Eagles. I agree.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't like the comparison to Mike Tomlin, but that's just me. Marcus Stuckey, put those winnings into tri-day trading. Amen to that.
Facts.
Kevin the Destroyer, Jimmy was the man. He was. Mike Tomlin will be great on TV for 1 or 2 seasons before he takes his next job. Well, he's got to get fired first. I don't know. You know what? I just think it's a very interesting conversation, and I think NFL owners recognize how difficult it is to win. But I think they're scared rich dudes who don't want to be. Do you want to be the guy that fires Mike Tomlin? No, but I will be. I don't want to be. I want Mike Tomlin to win a Super Bowl once every 5 years, and I won't fire him.
Yeah.
Oh, but he hasn't even been close. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're going to have to fire him.
And what's so interesting to me about these billionaire owners is, like, it's not easy to become a billionaire, bro.
No.
Like, do you understand how difficult it is just to become a millionaire? So the idea that you're, whatever adjective you want to use, scared, nervous, unsure, certainly not definitive on, what you want to do with your head coach is wild to me, because ultimately, dude, if you can't win one playoff game, that's more than just a coaching issue, bro. That's a culture, like, not being in the right place issue.
Yeah, I agree. Delaric says, ever since Jerry got rid of Jimmy, Cowboys have not been a Super Bowl team. Well, I mean, Switzer won a Super Bowl with Jimmy's team. I don't disagree with that. That's just me. They will win after Jerry dies. Whoa, easy. I hope they win. I hope they win before Jerry dies. I mean, Cowboy fans, and I think Jerry Jones has tried and tried and tried. It's not like he's like, Jerry Jones isn't that a-hole who's like, yeah, I'm just not going to win games. His last name is not Ricketts, and he doesn't own the Cubs.
I do think now more than ever, though, the league can be had if you can run the football. Yeah. I look at these games over the weekend and last night, and I'm sitting here saying, bro, if you can turn around and get 4 yards of carry, you're going to win.
Yep.
Because it just puts you in such a strong position to get first down that even the best defense is not stopping you.
Yep. Drew Dozer says, still no news on the U.S. integrity story. Which one is that? I don't know what U.S. integrity story you're talking about. Mike Tomlin would do better if he had a change of scenery. Maybe. Kevin the Destroyer, I was sick to my stomach when Jimmy was fired right after going to a Super Bowl. Conflict of personalities, man. If the direction of the program is trending down, it's hard to stay with the head coach. That's what makes it tough for the Steelers. But is it not trending down? You either win or you don't. And it's You either win or you don't.
I just don't think that's how the Steelers are looking at it. I honest to God, especially if they retain him for next year, how can you argue that all they want to do is keep making money?
Oh, Mike Tomlin's not going to get fired. Mike McCarthy's not going to get fired. I think Nick Sirianni's got a real chance to get whacked. I think there is, because that is, in my mind, a great fit for Bill Belichick. Yeah. I think it's a great fit. And I think it's going to be very difficult to not make that change if it's available to them. If they want to, they can make that change. There's no doubt about it. Delaric says Cowboys will win. Jerry Jones hires a GM and don't interfere. Well, that's never going to happen. Drew Dozer says Monty had an episode that focused on U.S. integrity, tipped off Connor Stallions and Michigan. No, we did not. We had a story. Again, here we go with Michigan fan. Always lying and changing and twisting. The story was that U.S. integrity tipped off the Big Ten about the sign sealing scandal. I know you guys at Michigan like to change the story, but again, I just ask you, why, if you're innocent and this is all lies and bullshit, why hasn't Michigan said one time that you're innocent? Oh, because you're not. You're a bunch of lying, cheating thieveries. That's right. And Jim Harbaugh is going to leave you. And then Drew Dozer will be here and he'll be like, oh, yeah, hey.
You know,
but it's fine. Mr. Downtown, NFL is passing league in regular season and running league in the playoffs. Well, I don't know that I can agree with that. I think if you look at, did Tampa run the ball to win the game last night? Nah, I'd say they certainly did not. If you look at Detroit, they don't win that game without Jared Goff. I think you can go up and down the scoreboard. To win games in this league, Patrick Mahomes has to throw for 262 yards in terrible conditions. If you look at, you look at the scores in the playoffs this weekend, the Texans didn't run the ball to beat the Browns. They threw it. They scored 45 points. Right now, there were some defensive scores in there, and CJ Stroud is why you got there. Right. I think, again, if you look at the Packers, do the Packers win that game without 272 yards from Jordan Love and 3 touchdowns? You don't.
I just think that I agree with all that. You got to have a guy that can deliver the football. And we're about to find out with Lamar, right? Lamar's improved a lot with his throwing, but let's see what it is in the playoffs, right? But I still maintain the X factor is, hey, is the threat of running the football enough to bring the linebackers up? Because if it is, that's going to open things up for your quarterback and you're going to shred that defense. Mm-hmm. But if it's not, that's going to make things a lot more difficult, and your quarterback's going to have to be the guy that knows what the defense is doing and knows where the windows are. Because if not, you're going to turn it over.
Hey, look, Drew Dozer's a Milwaukee Bucks fan.
Who the hell knew?
Yeah, who knew? Jeff Woodworth, I stole the signs and they opened up my eyes. I stole the signs. There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh, look, Boss Frog is here, Jake.
Oh, hey, boss.
Boss Frog, how are you?
Good to see you, dude.
Yeah, thanks for going to Vegas without us. Good call. Good call. Appreciate that. He said he would have had more fun if we just stuck around. Well, if the weather hadn't turned terrible,
Just saying.
It is what it is. Real quick on the NBA here on the Monty Show, presented by our good friends at Tri-Day Trading. TriDayTrading.com. You guys, it's Giving Tuesday with our good friends at TriDayTrading.com today. Win a $100 Amazon gift card in 15 minutes. I think we still only have 4 entries. This is easy money. Anybody that's a member, if you get the Tri-Day Trading membership, the 30-day trial membership, you're probably going to win.
Yeah.
Because it's 10-1 for our members. If you're a members only member, it's 25-1. TriDayTrading.com/Monty. You make a $10 charitable donation. Sign up for their 30-day trial membership, which has no obligation at the end. We will, I think you have about 15 more minutes. We'll give away an Amazon gift card coming up right here on the Monty Show. Boyd Lake. So is there even a small chance Puka gets a sniff? I don't think so. He could. He could, but I think it's really the Sean McVay factor. Is Sean McVay one of the best coaches in the NFL?
Yeah.
How can you say he's not after what he did with the Rams this year?
Yeah.
This was
a hell of a coaching year.
Yeah. But I just don't know, how do you not give it to CJ Stroud? right? I mean,
Oh, we're talking about rookie of the year.
Rookie of the year. Like, I think that's going to be really.
Yeah, I think that's a super compelling thing. I think CJ Stroud shocked everybody, but so did Puka. I mean, there's no way to know. I think the difference is that CJ Stroud has the ball every single play, and it's on him to help his team win. Whereas, like, Puka needs someone to deliver him the ball. Now, he made those plays. He made the catches, absolutely. Yeah. But when you're talking about, like, rookie of the year and who's more impactful, it's hard to say CJ is not more impactful.
Well, and it's a quarterback league. I think we all would agree with that. It's a quarterback league. But I think if you look at the nominees, I mean, CJ Stroud or Devon Achane, CJ Stroud. Bijan Robinson, CJ Stroud. Sam Laporta, CJ Stroud. I think Laporta was amazing.
Yeah.
Jahmyr Gibbs, CJ Stroud. Puka Nacua.
I'm telling you, it's a super tight
it's
road
really
between
tough,
those
dude.
two.
Really tough. And I think that CJ Stroud wins it because it's a quarterback league.
And if you're a Puka guy, like if you're the guy that's advocating for Puka, your argument should be, hey, dude, he just put up all those numbers on a team that has Cooper Kupp, like has big time. Now, Cooper had some injuries, okay, but, big time wide receivers. That should be your argument, in my opinion.
Yeah, totally agree. Absolutely, totally agree. Woodworth says, nah, Boyd, Stroud's got that on lock. He broke a rookie playoff record. I know Stroud is playing well, but records matter. Well, and they lost. I think you have to keep that in mind. I mean, the Texans are undoubtedly one of the best stories in the NFL.
Yeah, they're a sweetheart of the league this year.
And the city of Houston is thirsty. And I think what the Texans have done, no matter what you think of Cal McNair, what the Texans have done, I mean, is nothing short of sensational. And I think you look at the build in that organization, and from the head coach being a fantastic hire, CJ Stroud, I mean, just the whole program. They're much better defensively. They're much more sound defensively, like everything. It's just a great story. And I think CJ Stroud was a guy that a lot of people thought was going to struggle, and he just hasn't. And I think he's, and maybe barely, but he is a better story than Puka Nacua, because I think playing quarterback in this league is just so damn difficult.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is so difficult. Jeff Woodworth had a fabulous year, though, Boyd. Oh, Puka absolutely did. Boss Frog, oh shit, here we go. Quick getaway for the lady's birthday and cashing a ticket. Yeah, I'm just busting balls. The boss also says Kevin Cow's game was absolutely brutal to watch. It was terrible. The Dallas Cowboys were, oh my God. Jeff Wilbur, the city of Houston is thirsty. That's why they're called the Cougars. Cougars. And they should still have the Houston Oilers colors. But they don't. They don't. Kevin the Destroyer, not in my house. Okay. Boyd Lake, Houston is over the moon with that team for sure. Been a great year for them. Texans, Lions in the Super Bowl? No, please. See, again, you're a Detroit Lions fan. You're a fanatic.
Okay, it's a hell of a drug.
I totally get it. The Lions are a good team that's not ready yet. And you look at the other teams, like, are the Lions better than the Packers? Sure, they're better than the Packers 100%, especially if that game is in Detroit. It would be. Only you're not better than San Francisco. You're not better than San Francisco on grass. You're not going to San Francisco and winning that game. You're not. And I think when you look at, and I would not be looking to the Super Bowl because the Bucs will beat you. The Bucs are good enough to beat you. That defense is good enough to beat you. I think whoever comes out of that Buffalo game has a real chance, because I'm not a Ravens believer. I think they're a really rhythmic team offensively, and the bye week is not what they needed. Because I look at the way that Josh Allen has gotten better and better in quality here. It's because he's playing more football. They're practicing, then they're applying, then they're reworking, practicing, reapplying, like
getting them reps.
You need the rhythm of the football season, and I think it's always difficult. And hey, maybe the Packers somehow go to San Francisco and Jordan Love, doesn't collapse under the moment. I seriously doubt it, because again, this isn't a broken ass Cowboys secondary that just didn't want to tackle. Because that's what you got in Dallas. This is a San Francisco defense that enjoys breaking bones. And they're really good, and they're really deep, and they're really fast, and you've got like 79 weapons on offense.
Yeah.
They're just better than the Packers are. They're better than the Buccaneers are. They're better than the Lions are, right? So I think it's probably 49ers, and I think it's very telling Detroit's not a 7-point favorite at home. I think that's very telling, and I'd also point out the number's 48.5 because those are two really good defenses. And if it were me, I would always take the over. And 52 points in the NFL, I'm always on the over if it's below that. I would take the Bucs to cover that 6.5 because this feels like a field goal game, especially the way Goff is playing right now. The physicality that's in that running game, I think in Detroit keeps this you're going to have fewer possessions. You've got to turn Baker Mayfield over. It is as simple as that. You cannot allow him to throw Hail Marys that are easy touchdown catches like he did last night. You cannot do that. The thing that worries you is, like, are you going to cover or are you going to stop the run? Because if you're going to give up explosive plays, and Detroit has got to stop giving up explosive plays.
Yeah.
Like I look at the way that the Rams almost won that game. It's explosive plays on the outside. Detroit's not Super Bowl ready.
Well, and if you're Detroit, are you not trying to get physical with Baker? That was the one thing I was really surprised about in that game. Is it just seemed like Philly wasn't really prioritizing getting to Baker. That's what I would be doing because the guy is clearly playing hurt, and give him credit, playing his ass off hurt, but he's playing hurt.
And then there's, you look at the AFC side of the bracket. I'm really concerned about Lamar Jackson on like 6 weeks of rest. When's the last time that cat played a game? It's been 3 weeks. I mean, think about that. Did he play the last week of the season? He did not. Did he play the wild card round? He did not. You're talking about a long, protracted off period, downtime for a guy that needs to throw the football a lot to be effective. So is he going to come out because if we project forward, like where do we think the AFC Championship game is? And let's put the Ravens in the AFC Championship game. Is that the Kansas City Chiefs or the Buffalo Bills? Another very telling line. 45.5 is the number. Buffalo's -3 at home. So it's a pick'em.
Yeah, it's impossible. My concern is that the Chiefs do not score at a high enough rate right now.
I'm taking the Chiefs all day long. Wow. I am taking the Chiefs all day long in that game. I don't trust Josh Allen. I don't trust that defense.
How do you trust the wide receivers for Kansas City?
Because now we've seen it. Because now Rashee Rice is not an accident. And I think that Buffalo has some losses on the defensive side of the ball. And how do you explain that Dawson Knox drop?
There's no explain.
That's what
worries
me.
But again, to that end though, right? And yeah, sure, the Chiefs is probably the way you should go here. How do you explain the Travis Kelce drop?
Yeah, but Travis Kelce is a big game guy. Yeah, I can explain it simply. The ball was very hard. Okay, it's Travis Kelce. I can give him the benefit of the doubt. Dawson Knox had a first down in his hands and just straight dropped it. That's concerning. Now, Josh Allen was very good in that game. But if I look at, if you are the Kansas City Chiefs, are you telling me that Isaiah Pacheco and Rashee Rice is an easy answer for Buffalo? I don't think that it's going to be, and I think Travis Kelce is going to have room in the middle of the field.
Well, and that Kansas City defense is very good.
I think that the way that when you get 6 pass defenses and you only give up a touchdown against the best offense in the NFL, it tells me that you're playing at a very high level.
Yeah.
And I also look at the 2 sacks against Tua. They don't have to get to you and sack you to win the game, but they're going to take you off your spot. And my biggest question is, if Josh Allen is under pressure, can they contain him enough? Because I think that big 52-yard, I think it was, touchdown run that Josh had yesterday broke their backs. You're not getting that on Kansas City's secondary. And hey, I look at Chris Jones. I think Chris Jones is playing phenomenal football for Kansas City right now. It's going to be a hell of a game.
Yeah.
It's going to be a hell of a game. It's going to be a hell of a weekend. And if it's Kansas City, Baltimore, that game will be in Baltimore. Maybe then you do favor Lamar and the Ravens and that defense that's been so very good.
Oh, I definitely think it's one of those things where this is the week. If they're going to lose, this is the week, right? Because they've been off. He's been off. So, hey, okay.
For the better part of a month, he's been off.
Yeah. So, like, maybe that first half is just really rough for Baltimore. Maybe that's when they lose. I don't know. But I think this is why the AFC is so tough. And this is why, for Miami and Tua, I'm telling you, you look at the AFC at the top and you're like, okay, can Tua beat Lamar? Can Tua beat Patty? Can Tua beat Josh? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah. We'll see. All right. Do we have any more submissions for Tri-Day trading?
We do not.
We do not. So the problem is I have to give this to a Michigan fan then. This is the position you guys have put me in. With 3.5 minutes. Yeah. With 3.5 minutes to go.
Dude, what are we doing, man? Like, how have you guys put us in this position? How? Like, can you not do better? Like, we're literally saying, hey, here's $100 Amazon gift card so that you can go and make money on top of the $100 Amazon gift card. Like, it's not hard here.
Yeah. I'm a little surprised. I'm a little surprised.
I mean, this is pretty, messed up right now.
It vexes me.
Yeah. Come on.
All you have to do is go to trydaytrading.com. And I shouldn't even out it like that. Like, I shouldn't even out it like that. Right? Like, okay, go to trydaytrading.com so I don't have to give it to a Michigan fan. I don't want to give it to a Michigan fan. Trydaytrading.com. Sign up for your 30-day trial membership. All you have to do is make a $10 charitable donation. And if you're a member of the show, you get 10-to-1 entries. Currently, all 4 of the entrants are not members of the show. Not even regular commenters on the show.
No. They just see an opportunity, unlike those of you who are members-only content people who could easily win this.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, we're trying to give it to you, but you got to hold up your end of the bargain.
That's what I'm saying. Trydaytrading.com/Monty. Sign up for a 30-day trial membership, and you're probably going to win a $100 Amazon gift card.
This is not difficult, my man.
I'll give you 5 more minutes till 5:35.
Just take a flyer on it, dude. Like, take a flyer. It's not, I promise. Like, again, it's what you said. There's a reason our record with folks who do Tri-Day trading is undefeated. Every single person that we've put through the program has stayed and made money on Tri-Day. There's a reason. Go do it.
Yeah, I don't want it. But hey, it's fine. It's fine. I don't mind giving it to the good people at that are Michigan fans. I mean, they're good people. What are you saying? I don't want to give it to a Michigan fan.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Guy.
Barry wants to know, if I already have a Tri-Day account, can I still win? You can't. New signups only. Let's see. Maury Alvarez. Maury Alvarez is at Disneyland. Good to see you, Maury. Way to go. And now everybody's like, give it to me. I have an account. Can't do it.
Can't do it. Sorry, dude.
Hello, Tri-Day trading, Aaron Wilson says.
Dude, like, let's go.
It's fine. I'll give it to the Michigan. Should I just give it to the Michigan guy? It's fine. It's fine. Shooter, Texas. Somehow it's actually colder in South Texas than Salt Lake City. Is it really? Oh. Kurt Myers. Wolverines are people too. No, they're not. Hey, Teddy Wayman, the Tile King of Utah.
Wow. Dude,
What's
Teddy, bro. Teddy, are you not the Call of Duty expert on Prize Picks? Bro, can we show Teddy this real quick while he's here? Bro, Teddy, are these guys good at Call of Duty or no? Like, am I in a good place here or not really?
Jake's.
Like, is this trash or
Here's
is this
Jake's.
good?
This is Jake's Prize Picks. This is Friday, by the way.
Because it's garbage.
Yeah, Teddy, can you review these real quick? Can I get some advice here, bro?
This is my Call of Duty Prize Picks. And it's because I'm on a heater. That's the only reason I was
I'm going to do that.
That's the only reason I was willing to venture my $25 flex play here. I just took the most kills and voted less.
Right.
So I'm hoping that Kleenex helps me out here. But if not, then I'm thinking Shotzi's going to do the job.
Oh, Shotzi.
My guy Shotzi.
Right.
Wasikowski, any tips for a beginner on currency trading? Go Blue signed up last week. Let's go, Wasikowski.
Go, buddy.
I'm in the Tri-Day program. I'm Australian dollar versus Japanese yen. And Eric, get with your coach repeatedly. Make mistakes because they put you in simulators and they give you a balance that you can trade with and reset with every day. And go make trades. Go follow the proprietary software, the leading indicators. When I first started, everything had to be pointing up. And I get home around 7 o'clock Mountain Time, so I'm always working the Australian dollar versus the Japanese yen, and I love it. That's the advice I would give you. Teddy Wayman, I'm not sure on those. I don't like taking less on them, but hey, you never know. Great. Where were you 3 hours ago?
Thanks, bro.
Where were you 3 hours ago?
Too busy laying tile? It's like you lay tile for a living or something, dude.
Or pipe.
Yeah, how are the maps and Draper looking, bud?
Everybody says we should just give it to the Michigan fan. Okay.
Dude, why? What did we do, bro?
I don't know.
What did we do to deserve this?
Teddy Wayman, Monty, why haven't the Bears tried to interview Bill? Teddy? Teddy, if I knew that, I would also be DMing you the winning lottery numbers for tomorrow night. Because it's the fucking Bears, Teddy.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that.
We don't win games. We don't try to improve.
Yeah, we're not making any changes.
We're Taylor Swift. We're just going to look like aliens for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, we're really focused on Philadelphia right now.
That's who we are.
We're on to Cincinnati.
Yeah, we don't. Bill.
Yeah, we're focused on the Jets today.
Bill. They just are hoping Sirianni gets fired so they can interview him and downgrade Eberflus.
Get out of my way, dude.
Right? Like, that's what it is. Come on. I wish that they had fired the Flus and hired, because there were a lot of people who thought, hey, they're going to fire Eberflus and they're going to trade Justin Fields. They're going to hire Lincoln Riley and draft Caleb Williams.
Nah.
Nope. And I don't think they can trade Caleb Williams. That's just my opinion. I don't think they're going to trade him. I think they're going to ride with that. And the biggest question I have is, it's going to be really difficult to get one of the top flight offensive coordinator candidates to take that job in Chicago because they fired Luke Getsy, because you're on a 1-year deal.
Oh, you mean they're not going to trade Justin Fields?
No. What did I say?
Caleb Williams.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Justin Fields.
They're not going to trade Justin Fields.
Yeah.
They're going to trade the first round.
Well,
the first pick.
If you're keeping the Flusinator, you're not trading Justin Fields. You're
Well,
just not
yeah,
doing
Teddy,
that.
even Vrabel. I would love Vrabel in Chicago.
Yeah.
Right? It's brutal. RJC Man says, good night, boys. Sleep well. All right, I guess we're going to give it to Ronald Aubrey.
Terrible.
Congratulations, Ronald Aubrey.
Bullshit.
Ronald Aubrey wins the Tri-Day trading or wins a $100 Amazon gift card. DM Jake, Ronald Aubrey.
Should we just end the show now? Like, I like, is this even our show anymore? Like, we just rewarded a signed Steeler guy supporter because the homies wouldn't do what we needed them to do.
Dumb fuck.
Yeah, seriously. I'm the idiot. I get it. I'm the idiot now. I understand. It's terrible,
Ronald
dude.
Aubrey.
See, and you're even wearing Michigan blue today. That's what it is.
Who am I? Sharon Moore?
You need, bro, can you start? We just cry a little bit and then that'll kind of set the mood. And
Ronald Aubrey, Dearborn, Michigan. Congratulations. You've won a $100 Amazon gift card. DM Jake, SLC Jake. SLC Jake. Ronald won a gift card. Yay. Kurt Myers, way to go, Ronald. Shooter, whoa. Signed Steeler guy always wins. Shooter, Texas. Try day trading. I love day trading in the futures. I do too. I love it.
Yeah.
I promised my better half that I would buy tacos on the way home. So did you? It's Taco Tuesday. Aaron Wilson, 4-0. Okay. Cheat to win. Exactly right.
Oh, yeah. Grokok's 10th burner account.
All right. Non-sports stories of the day, as always, brought to you by Bucked Up. Bucked Up. The first person to DM Jake a picture or some kind of bucked up something wins a $25 Amazon gift card.
Better hurry up.
I can't just give away something to a Michigan fan, and
We can't end the show that way, dude.
I can't. It feels dirty to me.
Yeah.
I knew today would be shitty.
I feel like a Perkins waitress when I just give it to a Michigan fan. I can't. To Tiger,
He used his driver. All right.
a hole in one or two. It is what it is. DM Jake, SLC Jake. Hey, Jake, get bucked up. Exactly right. Taco Tuesday. How about taco every day? Seriously.
Okay, now real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic are about to start. So what do you have again on this game?
Here are my prize picks.
Just real quick.
Prizepicks.com. Get some prizepicks.com. Use a promo code Monty. Let's play prize picks together. Here are my prize picks for tonight. I don't have anything on this game. I have Devin Booker against Sacramento tonight, less than 39.5 points, rebounds. And
That would be the late game.
I have Caitlin Clark, less than 48.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And then I have Stuart Skinner to make more than 22.5 saves.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah,
that's solid.
I
bro.
feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, that's solid.
We'll see how it all works out. So we'll keep you up to date on that. You have tonight. Ow, Jesus. It's like tweaked my knee right there. See what happens when you do nice things for Michigan people? You have Joel Embiid to have one. You need him to have 2 dunks tonight.
Yeah.
Isaiah Joe to have 1 turnover, and you need Skinner to make more than 23 saves.
Yes.
There you go.
Simple as that.
All right, everybody watch Nikola Jokic prevent already took it away from him. Prevent Embiid from dunking the basketball, Jokic. Turnaround jumper on the way. No foul. Joe just won't pass it. Jump shot. Brick. How about Joel Embiid refusing to pass the ball? Is Larden not playing?
It would not appear so.
Oh, no. Wait, this is Philly.
Yeah.
I was confused. Clippers.
Yeah, he's a Clipper now.
But no, or I meant to say Maxey. Where's I don't see Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah, he's right there. He's right there.
Where?
Near side. Right there.
Oh, there he
0.
is. Okay.
0. 0's our hero.
I almost took Maxey tonight.
By the way, did anybody see good old Steve Ballmer
my
going
God.
ham today?
Did you guys see this from real quick before non-sports stories? Did you guys see? Look, I like Steve Ballmer, and he tries to spend money. Here's the owner of the Clippers. At their rollout of their new stadium.
You got to give us the permission. We'll know that you get up. We know that you cheer. We know how loudly you were cheered. If you're good on those things, we can give you little discounts around the shop just to reinforce that excellent behavior that we want and need of our fans to make this thing rocking. I mean, look, our fans have a role to play with our team. This isn't just for the fans to enjoy the experience. If our fans do their job right, it's going to help our team play better. And that's super important to us. So I'm excited about all those things and many more. If you want me to get going for half an hour, which nobody does, I'm well over my time now, but I'm happy to.
Bro,
what the again, convince me he doesn't wear that helmet all the time for his own protection. Because I think he does. That guy is the weirdest dude ever. Joel Embiid is not going to pass one time tonight.
No, why would he?
I'm telling you right now, that guy is the weirdest, most uncomfortable guy ever. It's so uncomfortable. So uncomfortable. Damn, you should have thrown Harden for more than 9. I almost did. Damn it. I almost did. I almost did, and I just didn't trust him. Just didn't trust him. Woodworth. Just got out of the bathroom. Are we supposed to instant message 2 holes a pick of what of our what for $25?
Hiscock.
No, your remnants are not going to get you $25.
Macaque.
You need to DM Jake. No. What you and Jake do offline is up to you. To win the $25 Amazon gift card, you have to DM Jake a picture of Bucked Up. Is that simple. More who'd you say DM'd you?
Maury
was the first one in.
Yeah, well, he was the first one that DM'd me. Did you already have one?
I have 2 DMs, but I haven't opened them, so I think Maury wins. Our favorite Floridian, Maury Alvarez, winning. James didn't follow the directions. He tagged me on Twitter in one. And then he sent me a video? And then he sent a video.
What could it be? Maybe I could borrow one. And that's the bottom line, because no, that ain't gonna work.
This is Oak State James.
Can you smell what the rock? No, that's not gonna work. I am the best there is, the best there was, and that's not true.
That's not even the Hitman Heart.
I'm not thinking clearly.
Woo! Give me the Ric Flair.
I'm tired. I need energy.
Look at him with the bucked up.
You can hear it.
Bucked up. Yay!
Now, I will, in his defense, last week he did not win because he did not have product.
He's got product now.
This week he has product. He's put a video together where he's taking a buckshot.
I say we give it to him. I say we absolutely give it to him. I think it is. I think we should. James, I'm going to give it to you because that's just.
And his name is John C.
All right, DM Jake. Jake will hook it up for you. Don't put your phone number on the internet this week, please. Just DM Jake,
Which is,
SLC Jake.
just kind of weird.
Yeah, SLC Jake on Twitter or Instagram.
That's one of the greatest moments in the program's history.
Oh
bro.
my God. James says thank you. I can't. Maybe we'll play it tomorrow. I promise you we'll play it tomorrow.
Okay.
Good win for a good guy. Yes, there you go.
See, everyone's happy about
Yay!
it.
Hi, this is James. Welcome back. Yay!
Mike Smith. Haha, yay, yay.
Yay!
Everybody's yaying, James.
Yay!
Way to go.
Yay!
All right, let's rip Walmart for a while.
Yeah. And Target.
Well, no, because you're stop. See, this is what you do. You're such an asshole. This is a guy who shops at Target every chance he gets. And I do not shop with the hyenas. I just don't. The COVID dwellers, like, I'm not here for it.
The COVID dwellers.
Coronavirus. I don't dislike Walmart on the whole. I don't dislike Target on the whole. The issue is that when right now, Target and Walmart are locking up underwear and socks in a cage because you hyenas go in there and steal from them. Target has a policy, apparently, where if you steal up to $900, they'll let you go. They're not going to come after you. They also have, apparently, a great facial recognition software.
Facial recognition.
Where they track the people who steal from them, and once you pass $900, then they have you arrested. And that's the level we've come to in stores in this country.
Real quick, I've just got like 3 DMs that you misspelled the word thieves, so you've lost all credibility.
Oh, I did misspell thieves. Oh, asshole. How
Better
is
send
that?
those refunds.
That's an autocorrect.
Freaking autocorrect.
That's an autocorrect.
Okay, so I have to say, you put Target and Walmart in a position where they have to lock up underwear and socks. This is not a good look for the public, dude.
I'm telling you now, this is why I don't go to Target or Walmart. I do not go to Target or Walmart for this exact reason.
Yeah, you know, I used to be that, okay, electronics, you understand it. Like, okay, an iPod, pad, phone, whatever, Mac, like, you know, Android piece of garbage, whatever. All the tech is locked up. We get it. Like, that's got to be, but we're talking about boxers and socks, bro. Like I understand it's not great times right now, but are we really that tough a spot right now where we can't afford $5 boxers?
Yeah, I don't think it's an afford thing. I think it's people enjoy stealing. I don't understand it. I am scared of a criminal record, but I don't get why people are stealing from underwear. Like, we're talking about stealing, and I think it's because most people understand that Walmart and Target are not going to prosecute you for the price of a pack of underwear.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the only thing I can think of. It costs them too much money to do it, and they don't want the physical danger that comes with stopping shoplifters.
And I think they don't want to develop a reputation of
being not customer friendly.
Yeah.
But this is the problem with, and here's particularly why Target makes me crazy, because everybody who shops at Target thinks it's special and Target's unique and it's amazing. It's not. It's not. It's a warehouse with a bunch of shit in it. And you overpay for that. And then you're like, ooh, how cool am I? I got to overpay for a cup of Starbucks that was already overpriced. And I paid more because I went to Starbucks at Target.
Here I am. Did you know, speaking of
so
Starbucks,
cool.
did you know, and I don't know if this is popular knowledge or not, or general knowledge, at Starbucks inside of Target, you can get free refills. So you got to pay for your first drink. You go back and get a free refill because you're shopping in Target and they want you to stay longer. Did you know that?
The better question, not did I know that.
How did you know that, bro?
Do I GAF?
Uh-huh.
And the answer is no.
Why?
I don't, because this is where we've come to in society. We're like, hey man, you go ahead and count Tupperware so I can go and refill my Target cup.
This case is empty.
Okay. I'm going to get my caramel macchiato full of sugar, lots of calories. Look how fat my ass is while you count Tupperware. And then I'm going to come back and we're going to go to the toy section and you're going to count Hot Wheels. So I can go back and tell them, hey man, I need a double shot of Venti mocha latte.
We were saying that.
With 2 squirts of your sauce. Okay, thanks. That's what Target is. And if you shop at the Target just so you can get refills on Starbucks, there are counselors who will help you stop doing that. It just
So-called experts.
It irks the hell out of me. Oh man, because it's all like Starbucks is already that thing where you're like, hey man, can I get a triple Venti Mate Loco, double shot of Jizz Whack, and then can you also give me a puppuccino also with a double Venti Mocha iced chai latte, warm, please? Thanks.
What the fuck are you, Ranger Rick?
And by the way, here's my my Starbucks Black card. Here it is, right here. And can you scan my phone too? That way Sally over there thinks I'm cooler. All right, thanks. Oh, wait.
Respect.
Before you ring me out, also, I need to get some of these collector's edition only that say degenerate thief shop here at Starbucks and Target when we steal underwear. And the ones with the white chonies on them, can I get a couple of those?
Bro,
that's who you
are.
are.
Hating, bro.
That's who you are.
You are hating.
And then you're like, oh, hey, you know what? Wait, put those gift cards away. I'm actually going to get this cold press so people think I'm cooler. You know, how much are these? $27.99?
You bought it.
Is that a felony if I steal it? Because I know those old fucks up at the door. They're not going to try and stop me. So if I steal this cold press pot, are you guys coming for that ass or can I just walk out with it? Okay, cool. Because Sally over there at my hula class, we were walking down by the Riverwalk, and she was telling me how cool her cold press is. I got to have one. But I need the holiday cup. You know, isn't it always pumpkin spice season at Starbucks? Okay, I feel better.
Okay. On a side note.
No, God.
Remember last week how you forced me to call a certain individual?
Yeah. Don't tell me he texted you.
He did.
God damn it. Why do you think I didn't call him from my phone?
He texted me. And he goes, sorry, Jake. X hasn't verified my account yet. My email is this. Thank you.
No.
He broke up with you over text message?
See, this is why I don't text people. This is
why. Okay, you dialed the number. Why didn't you go *67 on him?
Because this is what you deserve for shopping at Target. Bro, this is what you deserve.
Dude, come on, dude. I'm not one of those hyenas.
Me?
Like,
what the fuck does one thing have
dude.
to do with the other?
How many times have you been to Starbucks inside of Target? Multiple.
No.
Never?
I don't know.
Okay.
No.
How did you know that about that free drink then?
I saw it on Instagram.
Okay.
I think it is.
All right, I'm a bad person. I thought for sure that you had turned into that person.
No.
Let's see. I tried to send it by direct message. It won't let me. Hey, man, get your account verified.
Suckmyass.com.
Dude, chill, bro. He's trying.
You know, Jake, break up with him via text. It's what you do best. Teddy Wayman, Starbucks sucks. Thank you.
Teddy, are you a coffee guy? Like,
No.
in the comment
He
section,
is
are you
a
guys...
cigarette and Budweiser guy.
Yeah, I know, but like...
Teddy, you better not be a coffee guy.
like, are you a coffee guy? Like, you seem like a hardcore coffee guy. Like, you're not a Starbucks
No,
guy.
Teddy's that guy that drinks Rain energy drinks. That's who Teddy is.
That's who you're going
That's
home
who
with.
you're going home with.
What are you, nuts?
Nobody drinks Rain energy drinks.
No,
Everybody
Teddy
drinks
seems
vodka.
like because Teddy's got the beard and everything. So in order to keep that shtick happening, you're a black
He
iced
shaved his
coffee
beard.
guy.
He doesn't have a beard
Yeah,
anymore.
but it's been so long since he shaved it. I'm assuming he grew it back.
Okay.
No, did you?
He's a Rain energy. Come on. That's a great poll. That's a great poll. Mr. Downtown, I'm not a coffee guy. I'm a bucked up energy kind of guy. Damn right.
That's right. See.
Damn right.
Thank you.
Am I wrong for hating on coffee order people?
No, I think there's definitely a kind of a toxic culture with Starbucks.
Teddy Wayman. Play the sad music of the funeral. Teddy Wayman. I drink coffee if I'm the one that makes it. It's got to be dark as hell. I'm Teddy Wayman. I like it dark as hell.
Stay home.
Bro, Teddy, you should have just said that. I mean, if that's the mentality in Draper, like, come on. Come on, dude.
Oh, I miss you, Teddy.
Dude.
I like it dark as hell. I'm in the dark drinking my Rain energy.
What are you, Aaron Rodgers?
Rain energy drink. Ayahuasca flavor. Oh my, and Teddy, where were you yesterday when I was trying to defend cold plunges?
Aaron right now?
Oh my God. Oh no, he's not, Brandon. Teddy is a White Claw guy from them Draper.
Yeah, I've been immunized.
Ah!
Bro, Teddy, you got to defend your honor now, bro.
Teddy's like, this is why I don't come on the show.
Dude, you step into the comment section, you know.
Y'all want to play?
He said, I have my beard back.
So what you're saying is tile is not the only thing you've been laying recently.
Yeah, tile's not the only thing I'm filling that grout with.
Oh my God, just like that.
What? Oh, Ron Nolan, Teddy's right. Black as hell. Hell yeah. Bro, I don't drink that light shiz. Hell no, man. King Kurt Myers, did the Tile King ever get his ribeye? No, and that's not my fault. It is not my fault. Dark beer or whiskey. Exactly right. Exactly right. Anyway, enough ripping on coffee.
No, I agree. Coffee culture can be a little, toxic.
Can I get that cold press, bro? Because coffee ground guy in the cold press is like dip cup guy. Right? Like he's like cold press coffee ground guy.
Tell the guy that you used to work with at the Yelpatory, his desk every day covered in coffee.
And he's dead, so I can talk this story now.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
This fucking guy. He is the guy, he used, those misters that fill up the air with good karma, bro. So 2 desks down, I had the late Connor Hansen.
Yeah.
Rest his soul. He used to bring in a diffuser that would fill the air with good karma. Next to him was this degenerate cat whose name I don't remember now. And he would have coffee in one cup and coffee grounds in another cup. And he would spill the coffee and knock over the coffee ground cup, trying to not knock over the coffee cup.
It's a perfectly calibrated recipe for maximum personal achievement.
All over the place. And so what did it always smell like? old-ass coffee grounds. And it's like, bro.
Because it's garbage.
What are you doing? And you're that. If you're the cold press coffee guy, you're the dip cup guy.
And I remember you telling me one day when we used to work there, you were like, because at those times, and the company's changed a little bit, it's a little different now, but at those times, you used to get the reward of getting a cordless headset.
Yes.
To talk on the phone with. So that would allow you to walk around your area while you were on the phone.
Yes.
Because once you're good enough at the process and selling, you can just walk around and you know where you are, you know how to do everything. So I remember the day you were like, bro, I have graduated to cordless, which means I don't have to smell that god-awful coffee anymore.
It's terrible. And the worst part is, much like Dip Cup guy, he would never clean it up. Like, there would just always be coffee stains on his desk.
Yummy, yummy, yummy.
And he was this guy, and I can't remember his name.
I know what his name is.
What is it?
Gio.
Oh, Gio.
Yeah.
Would always have paper on his desk that was coffee stained. And he would always have like those white styrofoam, because at Yelp, you never paid for food or coffee or drink or anything. So he always had like 2, 3, 4 of those white styrofoam cups stacked up.
Yeah.
To the point where at the bottom of the cup, it ran through the styrofoam overnight one night. Like, bro, I hate cold press coffee guy. It should be 007 style, where I get to strap you naked to a wood slatted chair and just go ham on
I'm for real.
leather.
So don't even think about messing with me.
You want that cold press?
I'm a fucking unit.
Right? Like, cold press coffee guy's an asshole. Okay, I feel better.
Shout out to Mo Bamba.
I feel better. Growcock's fake account number 10. If my wife ever wants to move to Draper, I'll have to veto. Bro, truth.
Yeah.
Teddy's coming for that ass, quite literally. Breaking news. Oregon Will Stein has apparently taken a head coaching job at Cal, maybe newly opened Okay.
Yeah. Wow, dude. Bro.
That's cool.
Wow.
Guys.
Okay, let's see if Joel has a dunk yet before we get out of here.
All right. Yeah. Let's see.
Where's Joel?
Nothing nastier than Dip Cup guy, though. Terrible.
Joel doesn't have a dunk yet.
No, because you're going to, it's Prize Picks. You never win.
Yeah, it's true.
You take these, you guys, it's 3 picks on Prize Picks. Just do 3 picks, flex play.
And that's what I did.
That's it. Yeah, but you do. Oh, Joel Embiid to have 2 dunks.
But he should.
No, he should. Not against Jokic. Not against Jokic.
He'll get it done without Jokic on the floor.
You want to bet?
Yeah.
What do you want to bet?
My Prize Picks money.
Teddy Wayman's ribeye?
Nah.
Okay.
We ain't never given Teddy that ribeye because he's too busy, bro. He ain't want to hang out with us.
Mike Smith says sweaty balls. Correct. Gio sounds like a fake name. Oh, no.
No, it's a real name.
His name's Giovanni. He is a great dude.
Yeah.
Great dude. Mr. Downtown. Teddy is the kind of guy that would shotgun O'Doul's and was it down with Capri. No, he was down with Capri Sun, because the MILFs in Draper have Capri Sun everywhere. Mike Smith, I cut down to a goatee every few years, but you never go for the full beard shave. Oh, it's brutal. Draper, home of the Soakers Anonymous, Kurt Meyer says. Could be.
You see, I'm a guy of simple taste.
Teddy's ribeye. Leave Draper moms alone if their husbands follow the Monty Show. Exactly. Maury Alvarez, I will take Teddy's ribeye. Johnny Gonzalez, Capri Sun for your Capri pants. Dude, Jake is the kind of guy that would wear Capri pants.
They're called joggers.
Joggers? I agree. I totally agree.
Okay, here we go. Jokic is off the floor. Joel's got 1 possession. Does he get a dunk?
23 seconds left.
Does
he's not
he
getting
get a dunk?
No, because he's that types of dude that'll shoot a 3 instead of getting a dunk. What do you want to bet?
Give it up. Come on.
Pull up jumper. Swish culture.
Yeah.
Pull up jumper with the swish culture.
Yeah.
It's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. The Monty Show, as always, is presented by our good friends at The Advocates, advocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. If you missed our announcement yesterday, Salt Lake Focus Sports Talk coming back to the Monty Show on February 5th, 9 a.m. sort of 11 or noon. February 5th, 9 a.m. The Monty Show, as always, presented by The Advocates, theadvocates.com. Until tomorrow, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.